going to putting the Major League uniform on and coming out here, then you got some problems.
No problems last night, not for the Orioles, not at the plate and not in the field. Magnificent defense and timely hitting. Brian Roberts with another big night. Aubrey Huff with a big hit late in the ball game to put it out of reach. And the bullpen, Bradford came in to shut down the inning that he worked. Chris Ray would come on to try and wrap it up, and Ray did just that as they took 5-2 the win. Can they get the series? Get ready to rock. The Camden Yards, the site tonight for Game 3 of this 3-game set, and another beautiful evening for baseball. Baltimore looks to pick up their 22nd win and a series win against the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thornton along with Jim Palmer. If the O's can get the victory tonight, it will be their 7th series win of the year and against a division opponent, and they could move into second place ahead of the idle New York Yankees. And if they play like they did last night, they'll have a good shot at it.
Well, big smile on Sammy Palazzo, the Orioles skipper's face today, because, you know, it all started out well. You had Brian Roberts, just an outstanding player. They signed to a 2-year extension, and you get an idea of why last night. Gets 3 base hits. He gets 2 walks. He gets on base 5 times. He scores a run, drives in a run, steals a base, makes an outstanding play with the Orioles. Only a 1-run lead in the 7th inning to start that 7th inning. But just an outstanding game. Great defense by the outfield. Markakis comes in. And again, the ball game's 1-run, 2-run games until Aubrey Huff off a tough left-hander, Scott Downs, gets a 2-run single. So the Orioles, they win 5-2. It looked pretty easy when you look at the box score, but last night they did everything well.
We'll see 2 pitchers who started the season in the bullpen now have become important parts of the rotation for each of their teams.
Well, Jeremy Guthrie, what a surprise. Great spring. You know, you asked Leo Mazzoni in the spring, what do you think? Well, I haven't seen enough of him. Well, we've seen enough of him now, and maybe Toronto will be saying that. He's just been outstanding. Before that game, had that big game up in Boston. They couldn't hold the lead. And Sean Markham, you know, he's just a good athlete. He was a hitter, played the infield in college, so he comes up. He's got 4 pitches. He had a streak where he came up, pitch count got him after 6 no-hit innings, 4 no-hit innings in his last start against Philadelphia, to 13-2 win. So it should be a good matchup. Guthrie's going to throw a little bit harder, but both these young pitchers know how to pitch.
And we are ready to go to see who's going to take this series as these 2 teams in the Eastern Division get one more crack at one another. Get your program ready to go. The luck will be decided on the field in this game. 2 nations, 1 game. 947 Auto. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. 83 degrees and clear skies here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards on this gorgeous evening for baseball. Toronto and Baltimore ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For John Gibbons Jays, Lind, Overbay, and Wells, Gloss, Stayers, and Thomas. Hill, Phillips, and McDonald gets a start at short. Vernon Wells on the road this season, 325, 17 RBIs. And it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Let's take a look at our Rico scouting report. Jeremy Guthrie, the 28-year right-hander, came out of the Cleveland organization on waivers. Well, only 2 walks in 21 in the 3rd innings. Next audition, first time he's pitched against the Toronto Blue Jays. They were actually saying, we've heard so many good things, looking to face him. And then Mr. May, he's been outstanding. So again, Gary, you talked about it in the opening, a matter of run support, and if he can do what he's been doing, which is just get all the 4 pitches over. Again, tremendous walk, struck out career high 10 in his last start, just didn't get the win because of lack of run support. So there are the numbers. 6 of those runs, those 12 runs, coming against Cleveland in a couple of innings. Just didn't pitch very well against his former team.
He has been magnificent for this ball club in what was a fill-in role, but is hardly a fill-in role anymore. Here's Adam Lind, moved into the leadoff spot. First time we have seen him there in this series. He has batted there a number of times before this season. He has been in a slump. 220, 5th time leading it off. He's not had a hit in this series. He's gone 0 for 5. He will foul that one back off Hernandez, and quickly a 2-strike count. This lineup has had its problems. The Orioles hope they can take advantage of that. Problems in scoring runs. 0-2 count on Lind. 4 home runs, 12 RBIs for him. Off-speed deliveries, fouled straight back, and it'll stay at 2 strikes. And you see Guthrie starting out the very way he has pitched in most of his games.
Well,
strikes.
yeah, Toronto was asking me about him, and I said he can throw from 89 to 95. Occasionally, will throw one about 96, but he's been able to locate both sides of the plate. Pretty good changeup. He's been able to drop his curveball over. I mean, you know, he doesn't throw quite as hard with maybe as much movement as A.J. Burnett, but then again, how many guys do? But he has commanded the ball, and of course, when you see him pitch, you wonder how in the world Cleveland ever couldn't given up on a #1 draft choice. You know, AAA last year, he was up and back from AAA to the big leagues, 35+ innings, scoreless.
That one down the line. Melvin Mora giving chase, foul territory, and a fine play. Boy, as we saw last night, defense can make an enormous difference for a pitcher in a ball game.
And then hopefully about 7:20, we'll grab the bat and try to do a little work at the dish.
19 errors committed by the Orioles is the fewest of any team in the American League right now. Taken outside by Lyle Overbay, talking about a struggling lineup. Here is one of the struggling players. He has taken an 0 for 8 in this series. Average at 242 now. Still with good power and a dangerous hitter. And gets ahead on the count here, 2-0.
And we saw the other night, in fact, both games, even last night, that both teams took advantage when pitchers fall behind. You get into those hitters counts, the hitters that may be in a slump, may be a little doubtful what they're going to get. They can sit back, look for the fastball, or look for whatever they want to look for, and if they get it, much more confident.
3-0 delivery, and he walked him on 4 straight. That is only the 8th walk he has surrendered this year in the 37 innings that he has worked, striking out 26. A real good start to a good ratio in walk to strikeouts on the season.
Well, it really is, and we always talk about coming out of the bullpen. You warm up on a different mound. You have to get used to the home plate umpire. Mike Winters will be doing the umpiring behind the plate. Hitter comes up with a bat. So a lot of the stuff, you know, I think it's a good idea to see what you have down in the bullpen, but it's nothing like really getting out there.
All strikes to the first hitter, all balls to the second one, Overbay. So the count ought to go 2-2 on Vernon Wells. There is a strike to it. 277, 5 home runs and 23 RBIs. He has continued his hit streak with a hit in each of the first 2 ball games of this series. 2 for 8. He's got Overbay on at first base with 1 away. Infield double play depth. The 0-1 delivery to him. Wells a ground ball foul outside of third, and Guthrie immediately gets ahead of him on the foul ball. And he was turning around, as you saw, to Mike Winters, home plate umpire, asking about location on that. He thought it was a strike, and by the looks of his nod of the head, Winters told him it was. 2-strike count. Outfield will play deep all the way around on Vernon Wells. Short lead at first base. 0-2 delivery to him, and a ground ball towards second. Roberts, Tejada, double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Only 3 faced by Guthrie. Look at the O's lineup coming up. Nice eyes. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here's the lineup for the O's. Roberts, Mora, Markakis, Tejada, Huff, and Hernandez, Gibbons, Millar, and Corey Patterson. Last night, Roberts, perfect night, 3 for 3. 3 singles, 2 walks, RBI, stolen base.
A 25-year-old right-hander. Well, he's a pitcher, not thrower. 4 pitches, 10 consecutive no-hit innings in his first 2 starts. Well, change of luck against the Orioles. He was given last year 13 runs in 12 1/3 innings. So the ERA up there.
He is ready to go to work. Brian Roberts will take the pitch for a strike. What a night for Brian Roberts, who, as a result of the streak that he has been on, just a consistent level of play and another hit. He is now 9th in the league in hits, and right now he's at a section that he would just like to keep right in place.
Well, they asked him, they said, do you feel better than you did in April when you hit 245? He said, well, you know what? He said, you know, you can steal bases, you can play good defense, you can do a lot of things. He said, but hitting comes and goes. Right now I feel a lot better than I did in April.
Wow.
You know, right there, that's not a bad curveball, but ends up in the middle of the plate. That's not a good place if you want to keep Brian Roberts off base, because it's almost, if he wants to, it's like throwing a double, maybe even a triple, because not a whole lot of better base runners in the American League, not only stealing second, but
the minute you get to second, if you're a middle infielder, you better worry about him taking off for third.
You see right now he's tied with Sizemore and Kenny Lofton, all with 15 stolen bases. He got one on the double steal last night that ended up Patterson scoring, takes a huge jump and comes back. Jason Phillips has thrown up 4 of 23.
Yeah, he got one of those running leads, and it wasn't a big lead, but the momentum and what you try to do if you're a pitcher to help your catcher is to try to make him stop, and that's hard to do with Brian Roberts because he's going to time you.
Like he had that one timed pretty good, and wasn't even off the bag on that throw over by Markham. Orioles have had some experience against him, so Roberts has had a chance to see him before, obviously the first time this season that Markham has been on the mound against Baltimore. 1 strikeout on Melvin Mora. Gloss coming in at third. Mora towards the middle. Taylor made McDonald, Hill, and a double play. So each side turns 2 in the first inning.
Well, we talked about 4 pitches. So the curveball is hit to center by Brian Roberts. The slider, when thrown properly, tough pitch to hit, and this is what Melvin Mora, watch him reach. So instead of the bat being able to center the ball just far enough away, and he gets it perfectly to the shortstop, they turn the double play. And we've seen that over the last couple of times. Even though Melvin last night, as you look right there, leading the American League in double play.
He's just not getting the bat on the ball hard right now, and he's hitting those soft ground balls in the infield that are just tailor-made double play
and
balls.
This is a very soft infield. The grass is high. It's a prescription athletic turf, sand-based.
Markakis takes that one to right field. Matt Stairs over, and goodbye, home run, Nick Markakis. And the Orioles take a 1-0 lead, and the folks just above the board get a souvenir.
Yeah, a lot of the Orioles hitters, after facing A.J. Burnett, who was throwing a couple fastballs at 99 miles per hour, and then Dustin McGowan, who was 98 in the 6th inning, they're saying, are we ever going to get anybody that doesn't throw in the mid-90s? Well, they have their guy tonight. Now, whether they'll hit him hard, they try to go in. And let me tell you about going in. If you go in, you better get in this ballpark, because it's a short porch in right field. He doesn't try to cut it in on his fist. Markakis too good of a hitter.
Number 6 for Nick Markakis, and a 1-0 lead for Baltimore, and he is solidifying himself again, as he did at the first of the year, into that number 3 spot in the lineup as the guy you most want coming up in that first inning and a little later. That to McDonald at short by Tejada. He is retired. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Nick Markakis. With a home run, his 6th, he gets his 24th RBI. 1-0 O's. Markakis with a dinger and a 1-0 lead. Let's get our Tesco Technologies report and find Amber.
Well, Gary, you've been talking about the Blue Jays' lack of offense, and one thing they're not doing is scoring runs. In 20 of their 45 games, they've scored 3 runs or less. But still, you know, hitters like Troy Glaus are always going to be a threat, and that's something you don't have to tell pitcher Jeremy Guthrie.
Well, Troy swings, I mean, obviously a big bat, and you got to stay away from this power, hopefully, and keep him on the ground, because if he gets elevated, it looks like he can do some big-time damage.
Troy Glaus 0 for 4 last night, and Guthrie looking to keep him 0 for tonight, guys.
All right, we'll see what Glaus can do. He's had a big year, as we've mentioned already, against the Orioles this season. Troy Glaus did not play in the first series, 5 games. He has picked up 5 hits, 17 at bats, a home run, and 6 RBIs, but did get tamed in the ball game last night.
Yeah, they sweep the first series because he doesn't play. Then they win 4 in a row, and he gets 6 RBIs in those 4 games, and then he goes 0 for 4 and they win. There's a
got an MVP there. That one off the first base side, and Millar will make the play. Hang with him, Bubba. He drifted over, and appropriately so on that one, found the seats and had room.
Wow, the first base umpire Bruce Fremming liked to play. Now, if you have played in Florida and especially in Boston, you never give up on a pop fly, because the low roof in Fenway Park, ball blows back. I mean, it's hard to tell where the wind's blowing, and there we go. That fan doesn't get a souvenir, but he was happy.
Good play.
So Moore starts the first with a nice play down the left field line. I'll tell you what, when those marginal plays are made for you, it just allows you, number one, to give up less runs, but to get deeper into the game.
Preventing leadoff batters from getting on base. That's what Millar just did there. We saw that last night on a couple of occasions. Markakis made a good catch in right field and what would have been an opening base hit if he doesn't get it. Play that was made by Brian Roberts at second base just changes the whole inning. Guthrie outside with a floater right there and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Matt Stairs getting the start in right field in this game. Stairs has started 2, come off the bench in another. He's 0 for 4 in the series. And that one is rocketed to right field. Way back, Matt Stairs, goodbye home run. The only hitter in the Toronto lineup who has faced Guthrie before. He is now 2 for 2 against him. And this ball game is tied at 1 apiece.
Well, hitters count, hot hitter. He's now homered in 5 of his last 8 games. And, you know, we showed you a graphic last night if you were with us. He hit, 33 home runs for Oakland a couple of years ago. Might have been a couple of more. A wet souvenir.
Got the ball low.
Well, 2-1. So you're going to look for your pitch. It's a fastball, thigh high outside corner. Smart hitter, veteran hitter. Game tied.
Stairs getting home run number 5. She gets the baseball and doesn't care about the laundry bill. Hallelujah. 11 RBIs now for Stairs. And here's Frank Thomas. There's Stairs, who gets just the 2nd home run off Guthrie this season. Both have been hit by left-handers. And that is the first hit Guthrie's given up. Frank Thomas takes it inside. Base is empty, 1 down. Thomas with an 0 for 7 in this series and 4 hits in his last 36 at bats. 2-1. I always wonder, you look at Frank Thomas, players of his ilk, great stars, maybe Hall of Fame numbers. There is going to be an end of the career somewhere. Are you looking at it?
Oh, you're right. And
that's negatively.
The constant battle you fight as you get older.
3-1 delivery to left field. Jay Gibbons.
And of course, you know, 492 lifetime home runs. I think his numbers, you know, not because I'm in the Hall of Fame, but to me, he, you know, a couple of MVPs, dominated the era as a DH and first baseman, certainly has Hall of Fame numbers. If you talk to his hitting instructor, Mickey Brantley, he said he's just doing some fundamentally wrong things. He doesn't get his front foot down. If you read about A-Rod's great start, the big change he made was to try to get his front foot, his left foot down way early. And you know, he had 14 home runs in 18 games. Now I'm not sure Frank can do that, but Frank is doing things differently. He's going to have to make some adjustments. And I think sometimes, you know, it's harder to do that when you're 38 years old, because you've had such great success.
Aaron Hill continues his hitting spree into the corner. That'll be chased down by Gibbons, and it'll be a stand-up double. His 3rd hit in 6 at bats in this series. He came in very cold, but he's been putting some lumber on the ball.
Well, we saw it Tuesday night. The Jays, when Daniel Cabrera, who throws a little bit like Jeremy Guthrie with a good fastball, got behind these hitters, they were all over it. And we've seen Stairs at a 1-0 fastball right there. Aaron Hill 1-0 fastball. He's looking fastball. So Guthrie, his stuff's pretty good. He's not commanding anything else. He's not been able to get his curveball over. It's only the 2nd inning. So they're looking fastball, getting fastball, and doing something with it.
Jason Phillips, the catcher, has had a home run in this series. He has started all 3 games behind the plate. 3 hits and 5 at bats in the series. 256 now, a home run, the only one of the year. Came in game 1 of this series, and he's got 8 RBIs. Runner on at second base. Big cut on Guthrie. We got a pitch down and in, 0-2.
And that home run came on a 1-0 fastball. Again, another hitter's count. And it's not that the hitters are always going to hit those pitches. It's just that once you get behind them as a pitcher, they just get a little bit smarter. They say, well, I can look fastball. I don't have to look for the other 3 pitches. It doesn't mean you're always going to get it. It just puts you in a much better hitting position.
0-2 delivery. Guthrie checking at second. 2 down here. That ball's going to be trouble into right center field. Phillips has got another RBI. A base hit that will bring home Hill, who was off on contact with 2 down. And the Jays stun a bit here as they take a 2-1 lead in a hurry. And Phillips, another RBI.
Watch the location of the pitch. Target down. Ball ends up right in the middle of the plate. Runs back to the bat head. And Phillips, as we've mentioned, almost hit 300 a couple of years ago with the Mets. 11 home runs that year back in 2003. So Aaron Hill, he hit a fastball. Stairs hit a fastball. Phillips hit a fastball. You're getting a little message here.
Yes.
And it's not that you don't throw it. You just have to locate it better. And if you don't, you're just not going to pitch very effectively.
Phillips has 9 RBIs on the year, and 3 of them have been against Baltimore. He's on at first base. A 2-0 lead for the Jays. John McDonald has not appeared in this series, and there you see why. 1-1 delivery. Off-speed pitch. It's going to miss inside. McDonald has just been struggling trying to get out of what was an 0 for 20 hitless streak. He did that about 10 days ago and then stopped hitting again. That one is going to be fouled back. 2-2.
Well, he's always been a utility guy. He can play shortstop, can play second base, can play all around. And I think one thing, because I know you talked to John Gibbons, the skipper of the Jays. The one question I ask is, you have 2 right-handed shortstops, Clayton and McDonald. What's going on with Russ Adams, who has been an up and down and actually been their shortstop, left-handed hitter the last couple of years?
Foul tipped into the mitt. Held onto by Hernandez. A couple of runs in. Steers with a homer. Phillips an RBI. Came off Teddy Higuera, 3rd inning. The Orioles would go on to win that ball game by a score of 13-5. May 24, 1994. Someone with a very special baseball. Hall of Fame inductions coming up July 29. With the Orioles, 81-01 MVP. 19-time All-Star, the great 2632. And Cal has already made one trip to the Hall of Fame along with Tony Gwynn to get a pre-visit done. I'm not sure it'll make you any less nervous or excited.
No.
Well,
That's
a base hit by Aubrey Huff.
Well, I'll tell you. I was kind of going through the internet today, and of course the Nationals, they struggled against the Orioles, but they went to Cincinnati, scored 7, 8, and 12 runs, because that's apparently the great American ballpark is a bandbox, and every fly ball is a potential home run. But I was thinking maybe tonight will be one of those nights where Camden Yards becomes a little bit more hitter friendly, and it appears that things are on their way. 3 runs and 6 hits already, and we haven't even got into an out here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning.
Could be one of those days, Joe. I was just, while you were saying that, I'm looking out there at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Here's Ramon Hernandez.
You get nervous if you look at that scoreboard.
Detroit, a 12-0 win over the Angels today, and another final, Tampa Bay 13-12 over Seattle. Offensive Thursday?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I turned in that game, that Detroit game, for a couple of innings. Jeremy Bonderman, it was 6-0, then it was 10-0, then it was 12-0. He just came back. What a day. I mean, he came back off the disabled list with a blister problem. What a day to come back.
Yeah.
They get you 12 runs, you pitch well. And then that Tampa Bay game, 25 runs in that one. I'll tell you, Mike Grover's got the beard now. It's getting a little grayer after.
Wonder why?
I mean, if you're Mike Socia, you lose by 12. You figure, well, I didn't do anything to mess that one up. But if you're Hargrove, you score 12 and you didn't win, maybe I did something wrong on the way.
Ramon Hernandez with a 2-ball 1-strike count. Hernandez is the first batter of the 5 faced who's seen more than 2 pitches. As Sean Markham's been throwing all kinds of strikes. First ball thrown came in this at bat. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That'll be fouled off outside of third base. 2-2 to Hernandez with a runner at first. Huff.
Well, there's always that phrase, the terminology they use in baseball, that says you're wild in the strike zone. So a lot of times base on balls don't always indicate that you're still pitching well. If you're real wild, sometimes it can be more beneficial than being wild in the strike zone, and every ball you throw ends up in middleitis, and it gets massaged.
2-ball 2-strike count. Hernandez 324 here at home so far and 205 on the road. He has, I think, when I was looking, the biggest differential between home and road averages early on of anyone in the Orioles.
And he did that last year.
Yep.
Barely hit over 200 on the road. And
2-2 delivery, little ground ball to McDonald. He goes for one, relay to first and high, and no tag. So they get the force on Huff at second base, one away.
Yeah, Aubrey does a nice play to maybe interfere a little bit with Aaron Hill coming in and turning that double play. Ball hits slowly, so John McDonald quickly. But right there, he makes him aware, and then the throw's a little bit high, and that's a difference because Ramon Hernandez, he is not known for his speed. There's Lyle Overbay, high throw, a potential tag, didn't get him.
So the Orioles get a break there. That ball, if it's thrown well, would have been a double play, but again, that's a tough play for Hill on that turn, made so by Huff in his slide into second base. Here is Jay Gibbons now with one away. You were talking about the shortstop for Toronto. We didn't finish the story.
Russ Adams, and he was up and down, and of course John Gibbons was just saying that, basically that not that he doesn't like Clayton or he doesn't like McDonald, it's just he's got two right-handed guys that don't have a lot of power now. But apparently Russ Adams is maybe having some throwing problems, and I don't know if it's arm related, head related, or whatever, because he looked like he was going to be a pretty good offensive player. And then you couple him with all the other injuries they have, but most of those are, Reed Johnson, they lost their leadoff guy. Rios, they'd rather have him hit fourth or fifth or sixth, and he's certainly capable of doing that.
Evans takes it for a strike, 1-2.
See, those are the things that Brad Arnsberg talked about, is that when Sean Markham, the reason we put in our Rico pitching summary basically, or was that he's a pitcher, not a thrower, because he'll backdoor his breaking ball. He's not going to overpower you, so he has to stay on the edges of the plate.
Born in Connecticut, lives in Ohio, slow chopper away. He attended college and played some ball, and was, as Jim pointed out earlier, a ball player who actually was a shortstop pitcher, so he got a lot of chances to hit while he was playing at Missouri Valley, and then when he went into pro ball became a pitcher, and he has been a pitcher throughout, and as with almost all in the minor leagues, you're going to get a lot of starts, and he did there.
Aluminum bats.
Aluminum bats. Watch thy head. A 1-2 strikeout on Jay Gibbons, and he reached for it down the line. Lynn coming over, foul territory, and makes the catch. Long way to go for him, but he gets the out. Tomorrow, kick off your holiday weekend with a fun night of Orioles baseball. The A's are going to be in town. There'll be fireworks tomorrow night presented by Bank of America. It'll come after the game. Great display lighting up the Baltimore sky to get you ready for Memorial Day. For tickets, call the O's at 888-848-BURR to go to Orioles.com. I was just thinking, if you love ships and are in the area, the Inner Harbor area, there is a magnificent Argentinian frigate that is open through Saturday for tours. It's a beautiful ship. It's docked up in the Inner Harbor. Kevin Millar, and that is a strike on the outside corner. Mention it, and there it is. That's a gorgeous, huge, three-masted frigate. Crew was on there giving tours today. Just a beautiful ship. As the great lady at the seafront.
How about Saturday? You get the lacrosse semifinals, and then you get the Orioles at 7:35, not 7:05, and come down, a little tour, go over to MP Bank Stadium next door.
Watch some lacrosse.
Come a little bit earlier, go down to the frigate, and then come to the ballpark.
Be a pretty complete day, don't you think?
Yeah. A little dinner in Little Italy or wherever.
Get a cone of ice cream, and it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
1-1 strike delivery, and Millar fouls that one straight back.
Yeah,
he's 1-2.
Going to shake his head right there, because that's one of the few bad sliders that Sean Markham has thrown to right-handers. Moore rolled over, hit one for a double play ball to Hernandez. So that's a pitch we're probably going to see him use. And of course, everybody knows that if you watch Oriole baseball, and the Jays know, out in the middle of the plate, fastballs, Kevin Millar does not miss those too often.
He has seen Markham 3 at-bats and had 2 hits off him. Orioles got a leadoff single. Now 2 down, though, with Hernandez on at first base.
And he shaved for the ESPN Zone appearance today. Look how
Kevin
well kept. Look at him. Smooth shave.
Wow.
Yeah.
2-2 delivery, and on the inside corner. So Markham gets his first strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 2-1 Jays. Grand prize winner will take home a play set from Play and Learn. No purchase is necessary. We've got a 2-1 ball game going to the third inning. Each team has picked up 3 hits so far. 83 degrees at game time after a beautiful early summer day here in Baltimore. Lind at the top of the order, leading it off, popped out his first time up. Stairs has the home run. Phillips has the RBI single, both in the second for Toronto. Adam Lind at .218 on the season. And 0 for 6 going in this series. None of these hitters except Stairs have faced Guthrie.
Adam Lind right out of AA, AAA, and the big leagues last year, where he just had monster years, 40 doubles at 26 home runs. And he was one of those guys, along with Alex Gordon, that was almost on every cover of all the magazines. Of course, Gordon got a couple hits yesterday, but his average still under 200, getting to play with Kansas City, but a little bit different player. Gordon is supposed to be the next George Brett because he can run and steal bases, where Lind, they figured he might be the DH, and then they signed Frank Thomas, so he's playing left field.
Inside outs, that one towards left field. Gibbons will drift over and make the catch. Lind is retired. Fans, we invite you to log on to MASNsports.com. Each of our Orioles telecast all year. We invite you to send along a question. We'll try and find the answer. If not, we'll just make it up. Every MASN telecast, you'll have the opportunity, so log on now. MASNsports.com. Lyle Overbay. He drew a walk his first time up. And Overbay will take the pitch for a strike on the inside corner. .312 average last year with 22 homers and 92 RBIs.
Yeah, career highs.
He had a monster year. Trying to repeat it. .242 as he stands in here. The book gets a little bigger on you after you've had a year like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he just looks to me he's going to be a pretty good hitter. It looks like he can hit the ball to left center, right center. He reminds me a little of Aubrey Hupp, maybe not quite as much power. Where the average is going to go down maybe a little bit against left-handers, and so with the home runs, but he's going to hang in there against lefties.
That one's going to be a base hit, as Gibbons will have to chase it down. Just gets it. He's going to try for 2. Gibbons' throw is there and not in time. That little skip that ball took away from Gibbons is going to result in an extra base and a double.
Yeah, that and alert base running. You come around first base, you're getting some help from your first base coach. See right there, that ball just takes a little bad hop, and the Jay's got a pretty good arm, and it's accurate. Look at that, it's right on the money. But again, Marty Peavy saying, you know what, take a good look. And when Overbay sees, he realizes not only does he have a chance to make it, but he can also see where the throw is.
Vernon Wells wraps that one foul. So a runner on at second base is Overbay. Picks up his first hit of this series.
And you know they're going up looking fastball because to this point, Jeremy Guthrie unable to command his other 3 pitches. Now maybe that will change. So they're sitting dead red.
Wells hit into a double play, and that hit him.
Yep. It's one of those spinning breaking balls, and as we mentioned, just has not been able to get on top of it. And if you do, it just flattens out. You drop your elbow sometimes. Sometimes you just when you drop the arm, you get underneath it, so you can't. It just spins, and that's exactly what this breaking ball does, right in the back of the left shoulder. It's going to
nowhere to go. Huh?
Well, where you go is you try to turn into it, and Vernon Wells is able to do that right there. He's going, uh-oh, and then he turns in, just almost off the W. It's going to get Leo Mazzoni out. So one of those games we've seen Jeremy Guthrie so good in command of all his pitches. Tonight, it's not about velocity because he's been 91 to 96. It's about location and good hitting teams, fastball hitting teams, and we've seen Toronto do this. When you get real predictable, they're not going to miss too many.
Jays were talking yesterday about how many of their batters have been hit. Each of the last 4 games at least one, and 4 out of 9 so far, 5 out of 9 so far. There has been at least one Jay hit, and they were kind of smiling about it after the game.
And Troy Glaus got hit by Daniel Cabrera. And Big article in the paper today that Daniel said he didn't do it on purpose. Now, as it turned out, A.J. Burnett ends up throwing behind Jay Gibbons, eventually hit him with a breaking ball. And the reason the Jays don't like the fact that Cabrera hit Glaus because it looked intentional, and he's done it in the past. And he throws real hard, too.
And Sam Palazzo's the one who called Cabrera in, because Palazzo said, I don't want stupid things, and that's the term he used, going on. If he threw it him intentionally, it would have been a bad time, wrong time, and I want to make sure he understands that. And I also want to know that he didn't do it intentionally, and Cabrera said, no, he didn't. 2-strike count, Troy Glaus, runners at first and second base. Did he go? Check it first. Nope. Who's Fremming?
And the reason Sammy said it was stupid was exactly the reason that Earl Weaver used to say, let's not start throwing at people because you're going to get your players hurt. There's such a tendency sometimes. I think the other night it was frustration. Yeah. Daniel not pitching up to his capabilities. As it would end out, he would give up 4 runs, and he would eventually lose 6-4.
Glaus hits that one to right field. Runner at second will tag. Markakis has it. Runner's going to go. Here's the throw by Markakis, and he is out. Nick Markakis with a cannon throw, and Mora deked the runner Overbay into thinking the ball wasn't going to get there and put the tag on him. Big play. Watch Mora look. Yeah. Oh, gotcha now. Bomb loving it at participating McDonald's.
Well, speaking of the Inner Harbor, that was a little life raft thrown by Nick Markakis to Melvin Mora to get Jeremy Guthrie out of that 3rd inning. Boy, was that a huge play.
That is the 6th assist now for Markakis. He is 3rd in the league in outfield assists.
Well, you talked about Lyle Overbay, 2nd year in the league, but here at Camden Yards, hard to go from 1st to 3rd on a single.
Trying to butt his way on. Corey Patterson, not quite, as another fine play made, this time by Hill.
Well, anticipation. Nick Markakis didn't assume that Lyle Overbay was going to stay at 2nd, so he makes a great throw right here. If you're trying to defense Corey Patterson, part of his game, and Sammy Palazzo has encouraged him to do this, is put the ball on the ground. You know that if he does it 10 times, he's going to be able to probably be successful 3 or 4 times, and I don't think he's going to hit 300 or 400. So why not incorporate that as part of your game
and just try and get some numbers, get going again, which he's trying to do.
Well, he was talking about it because he came out early, and he was actually watching Ramon Hernandez hit early, and he said, I know I have to concise the strike zone. I mean, the guy at the plate right now, that's what he does so well. Brian Roberts very rarely will overswing. When he first came up, Gary, and I'm sure you probably saw him on Games of the Weeks and whatever, but he would have, a little lazy, he'd expand the strike zone. He pretty much has a pretty good idea of what he wants to do.
Does he ever? And he doesn't chase pitches like that. He just lets go. And he's gotten so good at it, he gets the call.
And yes, you're right. The umpires respect his ability to discern a strike from a ball, but he also doesn't try to pull pitches that are away. He'll take them to left field. Right there, right there, that's your borderline changeup, and Markham wanted the call, and Mike Winters behind the plate. He kind of almost, but Brian said, just a little bit too high for me. Now, I don't know if he'll get a fastball, but he can sit on it because it's 3-1.
He is 6th in walks and 9th in hits coming into this game, Brian Roberts, right now. And that will be a strike on the outside corner, and he couldn't create a walk there.
Well, it was off the plate. If you look at the glove and you look where that pitch was, that ball was 2 inches outside. So Mike Winters is one of those umpires, and it certainly will help both of the starters if they can make those kind of pitches that will give you balls off the corner.
3-ball, 2-strike count. And that one is way down low in the dirt. And the first walk, John Markham has surrendered. Our Toyota League leaderboard above Brian Roberts. In all of the majors, no one has seen more pitches than Brian Roberts, then Lopez Sizemore, Bobby Abreu, and Jimmy Rollins. Your major league leaders in pitches seen. He's piling them up at about 4.5 per plate appearance now for Roberts. 7 pitches today. Roberts is on, 1 away. He had a pretty good jump step lead before he was able to steal when he got on base in the first inning. Mora hit into a double play. See whether or not he tries to go here. Moore is 1 for 9 in the series, hitting .246. And that's a strike. Sam Perlaza has told him, even though you're moved into that number 2 spot again, don't be worrying about things number 2 guys do. You try and drive the ball.
Well, I read that comment, and I know you mentioned it last night, but when Melvin hits better, he hits the ball right center, left center. And then what happens is by doing that, he's strong enough, quick enough to still hit home runs. And that's, at least that's how he hit 27 2 years ago, and the year before that. You go back 3 years ago, he hit 340. So he's a tremendous hitter, but I think what happens is he's almost the total contrast to Brian Roberts. When he starts slumping, he starts swinging. And it doesn't always translate into success.
Another chopper to third base. Gloss was in. That's 1. Relay, that's 2. And he is hit into 2 double plays. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. And it remains a 2-1 lead for the Jays. Fame career, the Orioles have a number of Ironman inspired promotions coming up. And the first one's going to be the '83 World Series bobblehead day. It's on Sunday, June 10. First 25,000, 15 and over, get the limited edition. It's the bobblehead featuring Cal catching the final out of the '83 series. Make your plans now to be here. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and Amber Theo Harris on hand. 2-1 ball game. Jays have the lead. The series, this 3-game set, rubber match up for grabs. Stairs the long ball, second inning, is 5th of the year. Just the second home run off Guthrie this season.
Yeah, there we go. Little change up in a fastball count. Now, of course, you mentioned the 38 home runs he hit back in fact, he had 3 straight years, 27, 26, 38 home runs for Oakland back in the late 90s. Of course, Matt is 39 years old. It reminds me when I came up, they had a guy, Smokey Burgess. He had been around forever, but he was a pinch hitter for the White Sox.
One of the best ever.
Looked like he was in a rocking chair, and he could hit.
When he was with the Pirates, it was almost a guaranteed hit when he came out of the dugout. Smokey Burgess would just rock balls into the gaps, over the fences, down the lines. Wherever you threw it, that's where he'd take it and drive it for a base hit. You're right, it was a rocking chair.
Oh, it was. And look how relaxed Matt stares at. Of course, he just has a pretty good idea of what he wants to hit. He's been around, as we mentioned. He's been all over the place.
Guthrie, 3-ball, 2-strike count on him. Matt stares. Becomes Guthrie's second strikeout victim. One away here in the 4th inning.
And you mentioned when he was at Oakland, of course, right in the book Moneyball and all that. And when you go 3-2, you venture sometimes into strikeout territory because you just think you just saw 6 pitches. And it just turned out that was the first breaking ball that Jeremy Guthrie's gotten over, and it actually wasn't a strike. It just backed up a little bit. So he's trying to establish his other pitches. So we've seen the changeup, so that's good. But the slider and the curveball not working. Yet he only trails 2-1.
Great defensive plays behind him have made a difference in this ball game. Frank Thomas going for the downs on that one, fouls it off. That's as big a cut as we've seen him take in this series.
So let's go back to what we talked about, and then you can see right there, these are why we talk about Hall of Fame numbers. On base percentage, home runs. But Mickey Brantley is talking about his front foot. Now, see how he puts it on toe? It has to get down early so he can actually stop going forward. And again, that's a timing mechanism. A lot of hitters, A-Rod, of course, he lifts his front foot. There have been a lot of guys, Juan Gonzalez, they always have that high leg kick, and if it doesn't get down, you don't have a front side to hit against. So you're just trying to get some way to time yourself.
1-2 delivery on the way. And it just looks like Frank is completely off balance. He's thinking so much about getting the foot down. When he does it, he's flat-footed.
Well, I just remember when I'd be up at Hall of Fame, I'd see Billy Williams talking about, Roger Hornsby was my first hitting instructor. He's talking about separation. Hands go back, front foot gets down.
He gets a walk.
And the guy that's going to go in with Cal Ripken Jr. this year to the Hall of Fame, 8-time batting titleist, Tony Gwynn, Mickey Hatcher, who's a hitting instructor out in Anaheim, he said, I used to just go watch him take batting practice to see that separation.
hands go back softly, front foot gets down. It puts you in a good hitting batter situation. And it's the same thing throwing. Some way you have to load, get your arm up, and then go to the plate.
That is the second walk surrendered by Guthrie. One down, Aaron Hill. Guthrie in his starts has walked 1, none, 2, and none. The 2 came against Boston. Last start against Washington, he did not walk anybody in the 7 innings that he worked. He has walked as many as 3 in a relief appearance this year. 0-1 delivery. There's a slider, and Jimmy's talking about it just won't get in the strike zone for him. 1-1. Hill has doubled and scored a run in the second inning. Jason Phillips brought him home. So Guthrie, this is one of the ball games where he's trying to work where he doesn't have all of his pitches. And the fastball is what they're waiting on, and that's what Hill was doing right there.
And it's not that you stop throwing it. The last time you had a 1-0 fastball, as you mentioned, right down the left field line. It wasn't a particularly good pitch. Ended up in the middle of the plate. So if you're going to throw it, and that's the good thing that I've seen from Jeremy Guthrie, he can usually spot his fastball pretty well. So you don't put it in your back pocket. You just use it a little bit more judiciously, and you slowly, if you get into the later innings, try to work in your other pitches. And we've seen him try to do that. He's a bright kid, as Buck Martinez was talking about, you know, out of Stanford.
1-2 delivery on the way, swung on and just foul tip. And that may have been a slider that was right where he wanted it. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strike count still on Aaron Hill. Frank Thomas at first. Ideal double play if he can get situation, if he can get the ground ball. Again, the 1-2 delivery to him in the air, right side, and there'll be no play on this one. So a third 1 ball, 2 strike pitch is going to be thrown here to Aaron Hill. 3 hits, 6 at bats in this series for Hill, finding his way out of the slump that he had coming into this. He's had 4 hits now in 22 at bats against Baltimore this year.
Well, as we mentioned the other night, the great second half of the year, ended up at 291. Looks like he's going to be a real good player. I mean, highlight film up in Toronto when they swept the Orioles defensively.
That one's going to be Moore's glove and into left field. Frank Thomas will stop at second base. It will be a single for Hill, and he's 2 for 2 in the ball game. And the Jays have something going here in the 4th inning.
You get a pretty good idea how quick a bat. This is 96. And again, it ends up in the middle of the plate a little bit, and Melvin just can't quite get it. Ball off his glove. Any other base runner would be at third base, but Frank Thomas, because of the ankle injuries and being 38 years old, he's going to stay at second.
And that is another advantage in this situation for Baltimore, with Frank Thomas being the lead runner. Here is Jason Phillips. He fouls that one off. He's had the RBI single. It came in the second inning, his 9th RBI of the season, and his 3rd against the Orioles this year. He has really clocked a couple of fastballs in this series. One for the home run that he got, one for the base hit he got in the second inning.
Well, if you watch him hit, you know how aggressive he is. Right there, that was a slider inside middle of the plate. He was thinking 3-run home run. So he's another one, a big guy, wants to get his arms extended.
Broken back ground ball to short. Miguel Tejada will go for 2. There's one. Roberts, and they got it. Double play turned. That is the 3rd double play the O's have executed. Still 2-1 Jays. A 2-1 ball game. The one for the Baltimore Orioles coming off the bat of that man, Nick Markakis. Our Coors Light cold hard blast.
Home run number 6. We've seen Sean Markham backdoor breaking balls. He tried to cut a fastball in on Nick's fist, didn't get it in. Short porch into the sunlight for the Orioles' only run.
Orioles very much in this one. But for defensive plays, could be a much bigger score for the Jays.
Well, how about 5 double plays in the bottom of the 4th already? Now, of course, Nick had the unconventional one where he was able to make a great throw out Lyle Overbay at 3rd.
Towering pop-up first base side. Overbay. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 4th. Our Tesco Technologies report with Amber.
Well, Jay Payton is sitting out of the lineup for the second day in a row, and Sam Palazzo said this is part of a plan he came up with today that he's going to execute over the next 7 days, and to rotate guys in and out of the lineup. And the reason for that is nobody's really gotten hot and stepped up and made the decision for him. So Sam's using a little competition to ignite this offense. Let's go back to Gary and Jim.
You made that point, Amber, before the game when we were down there, and clearly, you're right, he's challenging these guys. Look, if somebody wants to play more, then get out there and earn it. But right now, it's kind of a mixed bag where there's not much of a differential. So he said he got up, spent 2 hours this morning writing out lineups for the next series against Oakland, figuring out how he's going to be able to get everybody in and get some at-bats. And if somebody wants to earn the right to change that lineup, then hit away. Miguel Tejada, 1-ball, 1-strike delivery to him. That'll be taken outside, 2-1. Sean Markham, 24-year-old right-hander, working against the veteran who grounded out his first time up. Still trying to get those extra base hits going. It's been 41 at-bats since he had an extra base hit. He will get another single out, and the Orioles will get a runner on with one away.
Yeah, Markham is not going to throw the ball by you. I mean, it's guile and it's deception and it's changing speeds. 2-1 fastball. I mean, 214 hits last year, and I'll tell you what, it seemed like about 140 of them were just like that. Up and away, he'd rifle it into right field. Did not hit extra today the last couple of days. But then again, you could hit extra and face McGowan throwing 97, 98 miles per hour, and A.J. Burnett was anywhere from 94 to 99 the other day. And it's not going to always kick in 2 days against those guys.
Got to get some swings in game conditions where you're hitting the ball, and then maybe you've turned it around.
Well, Aubrey Huff with the big 2-run single yesterday said, well, we need to see somebody that doesn't throw in the mid to upper 90s, because it's just hard to have a lot of great hits. I mean, the Orioles did get 11 hits yesterday.
Aubrey Huff, 1-strike count, 1 down. Tejada on at first base. Huff had a single his first time up. Orioles have stranded only 1, even though they've had 4 hits in the ball game. One of them, the Markakis home run, and then there have been double plays. 2 of them turned against Baltimore that have taken those runners off the base paths. 2-1 lead for the Jays. Outside, 2-1. There's Jay Gibbons, part of that mix Amber was talking about. Huff, Gibbons, Millar, Payton, in and out, DH, left, first, is where the players have been moving around.
And Jay's been getting some hits. Came into last night's game, 13 for his last 39. He went to 2 for 3 last night. Off of Burnett the other night. Good fastball down and away, hit it to left field. And that usually indicates he's starting to get into the swing of things. But you need Jay Gibbons to hit some home runs. I mean, that's why they need him. And I would imagine if he stays healthy, they're eventually going to come. I mean, they always have. It's never been a big mystery. Of course, Jay will tell you, Millar will tell you, Payton will tell you, Huff will tell you. It's hard to really get a lot of hits when you're sitting on the bench. So they all want to play.
Well,
that's a good thing.
They can go ahead and hit.
Yeah, well, that's Sammy Palazzo's point. Yep.
3-1 delivery right back to the mound. There's one. McDonald's relay and another double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. A 2-1 Jays lead. Our starting pitchers comparison. Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge brings it to you.
Only 6 double plays, pretty even. A couple of home runs, and Sean Markham at the moment the upper hand. And Jeremy Guffrey still out there. I'll tell you what, key at bat right here. You're in the 5th inning, you're trailing by a run. You have the 9th hitter up. He's been slumping. Get him out. Get Lynn out. You get Overbay up where you can pretty much stay out of his power zone. All of a sudden, get through him. You're into the 6th inning. Team can back and get a couple of runs, and you have to. This guy can think like that.
He can do that.
Yeah, but again, matter of getting the first guy out. Of course, I think he's probably been sitting on the bench thinking about that.
McDonald was a strikeout victim, and this one's going to be a base hit into center field. So the leadoff man is on here in the 5th inning. Our ReverseMortgageTeam.com trivia question for the night. Jim Palmer had 2 postseason shutouts. What 2 famous pitchers did he defeat in 2 postseason shutout games?
I don't even remember those.
You remember? No. Tom Seaver.
No. Oakland. Oh, maybe Oakland and Minnesota.
Oakland,
maybe
Minnesota.
Blyleven and Catfish. Vida? I don't know.
You were there. I am in full agreement with you. Do not clog your mind with things you can look up.
Minutia.
No,
Yeah, right.
I don't care if it's minutia or the.
You can Google.
You can Google. If you can look it up, don't worry about it.
It's my favorite term. Google it.
Google it. It's out there. Someone can find it. Adam Lynn hitting at .217. Leadoff man is on. He has popped out, flied out. 6 hits on the board for the Jays. Runner goes, hit and run, foul back. Well, John Gibbons trying to get it in motion here with all these double plays piling up.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense. And John, that's right. I believe in that right there. And the reason I do is because, you know, basically a lot of times you have a young hitter like Adam Lynn and he might be over swinging. When you put the hit and run on and you have a guy that throws a lot of strikes like Guthrie does, you make him cut down on the swing. And that's a lot of times something that's important for young hitters and veteran guys if they're struggling.
He's hitting 167 this month. And look at this. Roberts, Tejada, and a double play.
7 of them.
Mercy. Both teams just piling them up.
Did you see now why John Gibbons started the runner? You stay out of the double play unless it's a line drive. So, you know, again, I mean, this is just tailor-made. 4 to 6 to 3.
Jeremy Guthrie gets what he needed right there. The ground ball.
And curveball, one of the few he's gotten over. So again, here's a youngster, and this is if you really love to see it. I mean, he's young in experience wise, 28 years old. So because of that 2-year sabbatical he took going on the, you know, as a Mormon, he probably didn't have the innings that you would like to have at that age, but he certainly has the experience. He can think on his feet, and he's got great stuff.
Lyle Overbay right back to the mound. Wow. The pitchers is getting what they need when they need it. The Jays have the 2-1 lead. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. By Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com. And by Care First. Johnny Cash between innings. Hitting instruction between innings. 2-1. Everybody knows how to hit into a double play. We've established that.
Only what, 7?
7 double plays turned already. Bottom half of the 5th inning. It will be Hernandez, Gibbons, and Millar due up. 2 teams tied in the series on the year 4-4, and in this series at 1 apiece. The Orioles getting the win in Game 2 last night. Outside to him, 1-1.
You know, I mentioned that Ramon came out and hit early, and what Terry Crowley had him do was just put the bat head on the ball. Not 100%, just center the ball, center the ball, center the ball. Next round, a little bit harder. And he had a great batting practice.
1-1 delivery to him. Markham comes back in the inside corner that Hernandez didn't think was a strike.
Well, you really can't look in any one area from Sean Markham. I mean, he runs the ball away. He got Ramon out on a slider down and away the last time. Now he just spots a fastball on the outside corner. So he is really moving his pitches around. And Brad Arnsberg, the pitching coach, this is exactly the way described he's been pitching. So he pitches 6 innings in his first start. They take him out because of the pitch count. Then he pitches against the Phillies, and he gives up no hits in his first 4 innings there. He wins 13-2.
That one is going to be popped up to shallow left field. Lind, the left fielder's plenty of time to get in, and puts it away. 1 away. Hernandez is retired. Our ReverseMortgageTeam.com trivia question and answer. The 2 postseason shutouts that Jim had against
Koufax. I forgot about that.
Koufax and Catfish, or
Vida Blue.
Vida Blue.
Yeah.
Sandy in 66 and Vida Blue 73.
Yeah, one I didn't have any idea what I was doing. That was the Koufax shutout. And then After hurting my arm and all that and getting some experience, I had a little bit better idea against Vita Blue.
Pretty good opponents, fella.
Well, that was Koufax's last game.
There you are.
There you go.
What were you, 10 then?
Yes. Well, right here, we didn't go a little bit farther, but a guy that's going to come visit a little later, I think. Boog Powell. Yeah, Maury Wills hit the first pitch back to me. I kind of boxed it. I was so nervous. I mean, imagine pitching against Koufax when you're 20. All I didn't want to do is not embarrass myself.
Well, you did pretty well.
Yeah, it turned out all right.
Boog's going to be up here, our Throwback Thursday. 2-0 delivery. Jay Gibbons will take that one for a strike. Markham with one down, nobody on. Gibbons flied out to left field. Markham has an 0-1 record against the Orioles. He had 2 starts against them last year and pitched pretty well. This is a silo shot that Phillips has in line and makes the catch.
Well, marvelously moving the ball around, cutting it. 2-0. He backdoor a little cutter. Then he threw it in on his fist. It looks like he has a pretty good idea. We were talking between innings. It looks like we talked about him being a utility player at the college level. Sure, his college coach said he probably didn't even get a full scholarship because he doesn't have a power arm. He said, yeah, you can play second and a little third, and maybe you can play the outfield. Can you pitch? We need a pitcher.
Well, we were looking.
Yeah, I can pitch.
Yeah, he had that note that I've never seen before in a press guide where what was noted was he made the Missouri Valley Conference All-Star team as a utility player. For a guy who comes to the majors, you don't usually have all-stars who are utility players. But he hit 7 home runs playing college ball, playing while pitching, and playing short and other locations.
It's good. He's got good sideburns too.
He does. Millar's up, 2 down, nobody on. Both of these pitchers dominating here. Markham's had a walk and a strikeout, giving up the home run to Markakis. Guthrie's had 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, giving up the home run to Matt Stairs and an RBI single to Phillips, both in the 2nd inning. Got him to chase one down and away there.
Well, that cut fastball, slider, whatever you want to call it, it's just late breaking. And, you think it's a fastball, and the good slider, the good cutter, just kind of veers away from the bat head. And that's what Kevin's trying to do, get the good part of the bat on the ball.
2-ball, 2-strike count, just got enough to keep the at-bat alive.
And then if you go to the last at-bat he had, he struck out because he started a slider right at his belt buckle and brought it back to catch the inside corner. And that's why right there, how often do you get Millar to look a little bit late on a ball out over the plate? Not very often.
He wants to pull everything, take it to left or left center field, and he will step out. Kevin getting his work in at first base today as he's gone back and forth between the DH role and first baseman. 2-2 delivery to him, and another one he fights off. That was a little slower than the one before it from Sean Markham. Markham 5 wins 6 losses as a pro, waiting with Patterson on deck. Markham had given up 21 hits in 28 innings, better than last year where he gave up more than a hit per inning. Strikeouts 35 in 28 innings coming in. In fact, he led relievers with 22 strikeouts at the time he moved to the starting rotation.
Yeah, I'm looking through Baseball America at all their top prospects. Guys 93 to 95. He can touch 96. He can throw 98 on occasion. They're all in the minors, A-ball, AA, and the guy that throws 89 to 91 is in the big league. Tough to hit.
Ooh, did he just miss on that? Yeah, it's where they are, right? Move them around. Hey, Boog. I'm doing well. How are you? Good.
Yeah, you better say hello to him.
I always am nice. I respect Mr. Powell. So there. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Millar. And he's gone. And he thought he was gone to first base.
Yeah, another cut fastball that the umpire, Mike Winters, thought caught the inside corner.
The second strikeout. That's Boog when he was out there working earlier today. He's going to be joining us live back here in the booth when we come back. Boog, always great to have you with us. How are you?
Thank you, fellas. It's good to be with you. I'm doing well. Went out to Boog's barbecue tonight and signed autographs from about 6 o'clock till about 7 o'clock.
Who's that named after?
I don't know. Must be Buster Narum or something like that.
Buster Narum.
Remember Buster Narum?
Yeah, I do.
Where did that name come from?
Yeah.
No, I do that every night. I come out and kibitz and just have a good time hanging around with the fans and talking to them. And
well, I'm not going to ask you about the special sauces or the spices like I did a couple of years ago, but how's business?
Business is good. Thanks for asking.
Vernon Wells out of there. Tejada gets the ground ball, one away here. In
we were talking last night. I asked Gary. I said, "What's the longest ball you ever saw hit?"
I know, I heard that, and I need to talk to you
this,
about
actually,
that.
Jim.
Pardon me?
We were going to raise this issue, actually.
Yeah.
We're a bit concerned. Boog was concerned. He gave us a call last night, and said,
well, I remember the one you hit over the roof off of Juan Bizarro in Chicago.
Yeah, there were some good ones that I hit that I think ranked with those home runs that you were talking about.
Well, I didn't know you were coming up here.
You know, on the back.
Yeah.
No, one of the longest home runs I ever saw is one that you gave.
Oh, yeah, the Scouring.
Yeah,
Chicago.
the Moose.
Yeah, my first one.
Was
off
right
the speakers in
off,
Chicago.
Yeah, off dead center field.
Boogie didn't mention that one either.
He tried to slip some high cheese by Scouring racket.
Well, actually, in my first Major League home run, and I came in relief of Milt Pappas, and we didn't have a lead. That was the amazing thing about, usually Milt would go after if he had a lead, but we were trailing. There we go. Off of Jim Perry.
Well, he liked to pitch me away, and that was in the World Series in '70.
Well, that was the year you were MVP.
Yeah.
But anyway, I come out, and Harry Bakeen says, "Watch out, Scouring likes the ball out over the plate." And Louis Aparicio says, "Watch out, he hits it back up the middle." First pitch about 450 on the line. Blair just never put his hands off his knees, just turned around and looked.
Nobody had ever hit one in the center field bleachers in Chicago, and I said, I've just seen a miracle. It just missed. It just missed.
Well, you never, but we'd always say you hit that pretty well, and you just missed it. Well, the ball go about 475 feet.
After you were talking about that last night, I thought of about maybe, I don't know, I thought about the one that Reggie hit off of the Transformers during the All-Star game. And what was that,
71.
70
in
something.
Detroit.
You know all that stuff.
Well, I was warming up.
That stuff. But anyway, and what about some of that stuff that Hondo hit me upper deck over in Washington? My
The seats are still colored there. It's still unbelievable. That ball could have been hit that far.
They used to have the bugle. Da-da-da-da-da, charge. Well, he timed one up. McNally. He hit Dave pretty well.
Oh, boy.
That one's hit pretty well. Nope. It's going to be shallow, and Patterson had to readjust on it. 2 down.
Boog used to do that, the big swing, and then kind of look. But one of the hardest balls I ever saw you hit was in the old park, and it's a great story. Wayne Comer's playing center field. We go up to Seattle when they're the Pilots in 1969, and Boog hits one about 500 feet to right center field. And the wind's blowing in, and Wayne Comer turns around.
It's raining too.
It's raining. He looks around because he's just going to see how far this ball is going, and all of a sudden he realizes this ball is not going out of the ballpark. So he streaks for the fence. The ball hits the bottom of the fence, shoots by him. Boog inside the Parker.
Yeah, didn't even slide. There was no slide. Not a slide at home.
How many inside the park home runs?
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. In the smallest ballpark that you ever saw, in Sick Stadium in Seattle. Oh man, this place was a bandbox. And you remember who I hit it off of?
No.
Steve Barber.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Look at this. See?
Off our friend Steve
Now a lot
Barber.
of people don't remember.
That was a great catch.
Yeah.
That was a good catch. A lot of people thought that the ball hit me on top of the head, and that I caught it after it hit me on top of the head.
Well, you came up and you played a lot of left field before I got there in 1965. In fact, we went to the Astrodome, and they didn't realize that when the ball went up, you wouldn't be able to see it because of the glass roof. Remember that day? It was the first afternoon game there. We won 12-9. We hit more fly. You played left field with a batting helmet.
I played left field, and the ball went up, and I never saw the ball. I mean, I was standing out there, and I'd stand there with my hands and my arms at my side like that. The ball hit in front of me and came up and hit me underneath the helmet while I was standing there, knocked my hat off, and I went over and picked it up. And Hank Bauer went out there and said, "Get in here." He said, "Get in here." He says, "You can't stay out there anymore."
That ended the journey in left field.
But that was, I think that was the second game ever played in the Astrodome.
Yeah, the Yankees had played the night before. Mantle hit the first home run.
That was tough.
That was tough. Matt Stairs is gone. You hang around for a half inning with us here, Boog?
Sure.
Boog,
you guys
join us. Talking about all the home runs Jim Palmer gave up. Toronto 2 and the Orioles 1. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. Boog Powell joined us, Gary Thorne along with Jim Palmer, as we have a 2-1 ball game going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Boog good enough to come in from the cooking work that he does day in, day out, slaving over the hot stove.
Excuse me if I smell like smoke.
No, I love it. Best part is when you bring it up to the press room here and we get to have some before the ball game.
Well, we try to bring it up as often as we can.
I could just see you on the cooking channel.
I could. Would be great at what?
It wouldn't be that scary.
You know, if you told all the people watching to kick it up a notch, I think they'd listen.
You too.
Yeah, but I haven't invented a rub or anything like that. Yes, I did too. As a matter of fact, the rub that we use on our
no. Okay.
Cut it out.
Well, that's why the sandwich.
Anyway, the rub that we use, on our meat, I came up with that.
That's yours.
With that formula.
Now, let me ask you a question. We have some, Miguel Tejada, a little bit of a struggle, extra base hits down and whatever. I'm a former pitcher. I try to get hitters out. So if they were one extra base hit in the month of May, that was good if there was the opposition.
Corey Patterson, pretty good wood on that, back near the wall, and it's off the very top.
Yeah, well, he doesn't
Patterson's
run.
on his way to second base and will have to stay there. He was watching instead of running, or might have had a triple.
Well, he would have had a triple. That's a ball, and he knows it. You're down by 1 run. Obviously, you want to be at third base, but nobody out. So there, your Chevy drive of the game. Looks like it may tie it up. Slider in the middle of the plate. Short porch. Now, if you're running, right here, you can see nice play right here by. And then right there, you can see him just kind of cruise into first. So a base running mistake. And
Can't do that.
Yeah, Chevy drive of the game. But going back, I asked the hitter last year, I said, do you ever hit a home run when you tried? He said, yeah. And he said, but it cost me about 1,000 at bats trying to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you just, so when you're in a slump, you're trying to, you don't want to get jammed, even though it's
hard.
probably,
yeah, and you sit there and you're looking for a fastball, and every time you're looking for a fastball, they throw you a breaking ball, and vice versa. Yeah. Nothing is going right, and everything is wrong. And when you hit one good, it's right at somebody, and I don't know, you become frustrated. And
Roberts, first ball hitting to center field. Corey Patterson's going to tag. Wells has got a cannon, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, 3-time Gold Glover. So, game's tied. Well, the little things.
What I found that helped me a lot was try to sit on one pitch. Try not to work a miracle. I can't hit a 5-run homer. That I can only hit one at a time, or I can only get a base hit. And Charlie Lau used to preach to me about hitting the ball the other way. And I could hit all the home runs I wanted in a batting practice, but he would sit there and he'd just shake his finger at you and say no. And I'd hit 4 or 5 balls over there. I'd hit 5 or 6 balls, and he said hit one more. Then I'd hit one more, and then all of a sudden I would start getting back into the rhythm again. And I see things. I see the game a little bit differently because guys are using real small bats. They try to wait as long as they can. They're using these pieces of balsa wood or whatever they're using. And they try to wait as long as they can. And, I understand that. I really do. And but I see guys that just aren't thinking at the plate in situations where you can hurt the other team. I mean, on taking first pitches right down the middle. I know you've seen the guy 4 or 5 times, and you've got a runner on third base or second, third. You've got a situation where you can hurt the other team. Swing the bat.
Well, I think the night you hit 3 home runs in Boston, they were all left field. Yeah. Right around. He started down the line, then he went to left center, and then, almost dead center, but it was left center.
I think when most hitters are going good, they're hitting the ball to the opposite field, and they're picking the ball up, and they're doing whatever they want to do with the ball.
Now, Melvin's a perfect example. He
exactly.
tries to wait a little bit long, and then he gets anxious, and we know it. He's a much better hitter when he's looking right center, and the same with Miguel. And then the home runs just come. But I'll tell you what, not too many guys I've ever talked to said, boy, it's not like 4-wheel drive. Just push that button.
That's right.
Moore has already hit into 2 ground ball double plays here. He's got a runner at second base, 1 down. A 2-1 lead for the Jays. Corey Patterson, the base runner, and that one down the side again. Stairs will go over. No play. Well, we had a question for you that's come in from one of our viewers here. Okay. We asked people to log on and send questions in, and one was directed to you.
Okay.
How did you get the name Boog?
Well, it's kind of complicated. As my father called me a little booger when I was a kid, and somehow it just got shortened. It's a kind of a Southern expression, you know. Look at that little booger run. And
term of affection.
When I could run, right, right, and it just got shortened. And I tried, you know, when I came to the big leagues, I tried to be known as John, which is my real name. And as a matter of fact, I was doing an interview one day with Dizzy Dean, and we were in Yankee Stadium, and Dizzy Dean said, "Son," he said, "that's the worst name I've ever seen." He says, "You got to get rid of that name." You know, and here's a guy named Dizzy. He's got a brother named Daffy, you know, and he's talking about Boog, you know.
But what, do you straighten him out?
Yeah, I told him, I says, "Hey, it's not so bad," you know. But I was scared to death back in the, I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Dean."
Check swing ground ball. Pitcher gets there in time, and Morris retired 2 away.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're not sorry. No.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a guy on third base that really hopes somebody gets a base hit here because, again, that leadoff double should have been a triple. You know, you make mistakes. Probably will run out every ball the rest of the year. He just thought the ball was going out. And right here, yeah, I think Brad Armsburg, the pitching coach, is going to come out and say, do we want to pitch to Markakis or do we want to pitch to Miguel Tejada? And Brad was saying that because Tejada and Mora are slumping a little bit, you can almost pitch him like it's 0-2. And when you pitch a guy 0-2, what does that mean? You got to swing at just about anything. You got to defend high and in, high and away, low and in, breaking balls, fastballs. So it'll be interesting to see who they pitch to.
Boog, did you as a hitter, were you more of a location hitter or type of pitch hitter when you went up most times?
I think that when I first came to the big leagues, I was definitely an away hitter. And then as time went on, they made me hit the pitch inside. A very similar thing for me is happening to Nick Markakis right now. You know, as he is a very natural left field hitter, but they've made him try to pull the ball. So now that happened to me too. So now you got to be, you know, there's a point somewhere in between where you have to know when to look for that pitch inside, and when you have to hit that pitch outside, and what kind of what a pitcher is trying to do to you.
Adjustment, right?
Always adjusting. Yep. Always adjusting.
Everybody does that in the game if you're any good at it.
Yeah, well, in this game, they tried to get in on him. He hit a home run, his 6th. Then they did get in on him. He popped up to first. And then right there, they'd run a little cut fastball down and away. So, but you hit off the fastball, didn't you?
Always. Yeah. I very seldom ever look for a breaking ball.
Runner at third base, 2 down.
Off a guy like, a knuckleball pitcher or somebody that threw 98% breaking balls, I mean, sure, I'm going to look for a breaking ball. But 90% of the time I look for fastball. You know, and I learned that from, just years of standing on top of the plate, look for a fastball, and just bail out and try to hit something.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people talk about clutch home runs, but in our first playoff game in 1969, the Twins had us down 3-2, 2 outs in the 9th inning, and the big boy here tied it up off of Jim Perry.
Yeah, he'd thrown me about 4 pitches on the outside corner, and I just kept fouling them off. I fouled off like 4 pitches away, and I says, well, I think he's going to try to bust me in. I'm going to look, 3-2, and he busted me in. I didn't hit it real good.
Yeah, he stole the bullpen.
I still had to protect a little bit because the last thing that I wanted to do in that situation is strike out. And one thing, I did change my swing a lot when it got late in the count. The first 2 strikes were usually mine, and then after I got 2 strikes on me, I try to play butcher boy, as Hank Bauer used to say. You remember that? Yeah.
How many hitters need to learn that in this day and age?
Oh, man.
We don't see that adjustment made
Absolutely.
anymore.
Absolutely.
3-1 delivery, and Nick Markakis, I don't really think maybe they pitched around him, but they gave him stuff that was close anyway.
Yeah, I think that pitch has been a strike a couple of times tonight, so they thought that maybe that would run the count full, but so now you get Tejada at the plate. And it's kind of just sit back and really kind of watch what the approach will be. You have a guy that would certainly like to have an extra base hit here. Home run would certainly be a bonus, but it's been struggling, but working hard on his swing.
See if he can produce here. Boog, it's just wonderful to have you up here. It's great to see you again.
It's nice to meet you.
Appreciate
well, how
that.
about our pal Brooksy turning 70 the other day?
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, isn't that great?
I sang him happy birthday. You did too. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's a special guy. He's probably, somebody said he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and I said no. He's the nicest guy I've ever met.
There you go.
He really is.
And so active and organizations that help players, former players. Miguel Tejada will take the strike. Runners on at first and third. We've got a 2-1 ball game with the Jays leading. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Tejada's had a single and has grounded out.
Yeah, that single coming on a fastball up and away. 2-1 count. Shot it into right field.
Sean Markham, the 25-year-old, keeping Markakis close at first base.
You know, I think a guy like this, a lot of times I've been watching him, you know, on TV, and he has a tendency to get his hands in here when he starts his swing, and trying to stay inside of the ball, he ties himself up. He tries to drop his hands down in there.
That one to left field. It is curving, and it is gone. Goodbye, home run, Miguel Tejada.
I took the jinx off of him.
Well, there you go.
Well, there's a little rhythm thing there. And if you'll watch this swing, he just did a little thing to cock his hands. You see him cock his hands back just a little bit before he started on the ball. He did not drag his hands on that swing.
Yeah, he's just hoping it stays fair. A little Carlton fist.
Exactly.
1975 World Series.
Exactly.
4-2 Orioles.
He had gone 100 at bats exactly without a home run. He gets one there to bring in 3, and the Orioles take a 4-2 lead as Miguel Tejada delivers home run number 3, RBIs 19, 20, and 21.
You know, when I was playing and you get in a streak like that, the fans used to say boog a lot. There were no G's on the end. You know,
they changed.
They took the G off the end. Yeah.
Not for long, though. 2-strike delivery on the way. That will miss inside as Aubrey Huff has singled and hit into a double play. So a big blow for the O's here in the 6th inning as they get the lead for the first time in the game. That is knocked down by Hill and will get the out. Doug Powell, our great guest. Always a delight to see you. Welcome anytime, fella. And
Thank you, Vinny.
thanks a
Thanks,
million.
Garrett.
Pleasure. Doug Powell joining us here in the booth. You can join him for a little barbecue on Utah. Take a look at our Nissan in-game box score for the Jays.
Well, Matt Stairs got the Jays on the board early on, and then Aaron Hill, another good night, great night defensively, and then Jason Phillips, little looper, right center for the second run, and that's been the offensive damage. And Jeremy Guthrie, not his best stuff, not his best command.
That one's drilled to left field. Frank Thomas way back, and goodbye home run. So Frank Thomas gets out of the funk that he's been in as he drills one, no questions asked, and it's a 1-run game.
Well, you hit 39 home runs like he hit last year, and again, you know, you posed a pretty good question before. When you get to be 38 and you're slumping, or you're old, or maybe you're just in one of those slumps. Well, he didn't slump there. Boy, was that ball, that was a loud ball, right down the middle, and it's gone. Foot down. We have liftoff.
493 for him now in his career. He gets his 6th of the year. Last one came on May 12. And these are the way the games have gone for the O's. You get a 2-run lead and it lasts 1 or 2 at bats.
Well, I think the good news is yeah, he hit the home run, but you weren't afraid of contact or throwing a strike. And
it's playable. Millar, foul territory.
And the reason I say that is because Aaron Hill's had some nice swings, and then he comes right back and gets pitches over that he hasn't gotten all overnight. So that you got to, you know, you look at Frank Thomas, you go, if you throw him a fastball in the middle of the plate, that's why he's hit 493 home runs, and he smoked it. But then you come back, you make good pitches, and you have a chance to get through this inning and get out of here with a 1-run lead.
Guthrie had given up only 1 home run coming into this ball game all year. He has given up 2 in this game, including the one to Thomas, which is the first by a right-hander against Guthrie this season. So Thomas gets the dinger, a 4-3 ball game here in the 7th inning. Down to third, hard, Mora. and gets the out. Jason Phillips is retired. 2 down. The Orioles have a great way for you to buy tickets this season at Save. It's the O's 6-game flex pack. 6 games, your choice throughout the year. Great way to follow the Birds, try different seating options, and save some money. Order your 6-game flex pack now. Call the O's at 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the O's. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Jays. Jays have left 3 on base, and the O's have left just 1. Fouled off by John McDonald, number 9 hitter, a single, and he is struck out off Jeremy Guthrie, who has 2 walks, 3 strikeouts so far in the game.
And I think they're probably watching him very carefully, because right there, Ramon Hernandez sitting outside corner. That ball was about 2.5 feet from the target. So you watch him slide out again. And that's the one thing he's been able to do, is really spot his fastball out of the middle of the plate, hit the glove. Tonight it's been a little bit more of a struggle, but yet you look at the scoreboard, only 3 runs, one of them a little bit tainted, but again they just under a little bit tonight, so that's why the breaking ball not as sharp as it usually is, but still able to get into the late innings.
Got a chance to win a ball game. His 5th start, 11th appearance, 3rd start he has had at home this year. 2-1 mark for Guthrie on the season. He has been non-decisioned in his last 2 games against Washington and Boston. Had a win before that against Tampa Bay. The other start was against Oakland, where he took a loss. That was back in April. 3 ball, 1 strike count. John McDonald. Inside out. Pop up. Tejada. He's got it. 1 run on 1 hit. Frank Thomas, the home run, makes it a 4-3 7th inning stretch. Don't let a million pass you by. Buy your Countdown to Millions ticket today for your best chance to win $1 million. Hurry, tickets are going like hotcakes. Countdown to Millions from the Maryland Lottery. Let yourself play. Number 7. We wait until each barrel is just the right age. You should too. Drink responsibly. Interesting ball game going on. Last night certainly was. Double steal a home, 5-2 win for Baltimore. Now we got a 1-run ball game, 4-3 going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Orioles will get Hernandez, Gibbons, and Millar to the plate.
Yeah, Tuesday night game, a pivotal 4-run inning by Toronto made the difference, as they won 6-4. Orioles now with a 3-run inning, and of course last night they had a 3-2 lead going into the 7th, and then they added a couple more runs.
Both starters have gone the distance. Markham, couple of walks, 2 strikeouts. 0-1 delivery. Hernandez will fight it off.
Well, there's nobody throwing up in the Oriole bullpen. John Parrish was up and is probably loose. But again, pitch count in the upper 90s, 96 for Jeremy Guthrie. Looked like his command was a little bit off in that inning. It'll be very intriguing to me to see if he actually will come out to pitch the 8th. And of course, if you remember Danny Bias, that's usually his inning, but he has really been struggling. So maybe not the opportune night to see if he's back on track.
Yes, missed outside with that 1-2. Sam Perlazo saying before the game he'd prefer not to have to use Bradford in this game. Baez is available and would be the one to go tonight. 1-2 delivery, and a slider misses outside. Markham may be running out of a little gas. He kind of slung that one up there. Jay Gibbons waiting in the on-deck circle. Goes with a long ball by Markakis and the 3-run homer by Tejada. And that is going to feel good for Miguel Tejada. All the extra work he's put in and the long 100 at-bats without a home run.
And he will tell you that I just tried to put a good swing on it, and the home run happened. I wasn't trying to hit it.
And that's the truth.
Yeah. And what he's talking about is a good short swing on a ball up and in.
3-2 delivery down to third base. Troy Gloss gets the out. Tomorrow night, Oriole Park Student Night, presented by the new AT&T. All students of any age, if you've got a valid school ID, you can receive a left field upper reserve seat for only $6. And it is fireworks night, presented by Bank of America. Student night tomorrow and every Friday home game all season. And you get the bonus of fireworks tomorrow night. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Here's Jay Gibbons. One away here in the 7th inning. Orioles finally get out of the one-run ball game streak that they were in last night with that 5-2 victory. Now right back in a one-run ball game, at least for the moment. Oakland's going to be coming in. In fact, Oakland's already here. Their players were around this afternoon around the ballpark and over in the Inner Harbor area. They've been here all day. 2-strike count on Jay Gibbons. John Markham way up high to him, 1-2. 15,182 the announced attendance here tonight.
Yeah, look on the scoreboard. How about Tom Glavine going for 296 and John Smoltz going for number 200. Leo Mazzoni was saying, yeah, I think it's the 3rd time they pitched against each other already this year.
Atlanta's got the 2-0 lead in the 4th inning over the Mets as Atlanta tries to cut in to the Mets season with some victories. The Mets have a 2.5 game lead over the Braves right now. 1 ball, 2-strike delivery. Gibbons will take that one inside. Yankees have the day off today. They are in 2nd place, 9.5 behind Boston. The O's are in 3rd, 10 games out. So if the Orioles could win this ball game, they'd have a chance. The Yankees having 21 wins, and the Orioles, if they won, would have 22, a chance to move ahead.
Did you realize that the Red Sox magic number is 108? Is that too early, you think, for the Globe?
No.
They'd be talking about that in the Boston Globe.
It's already in the paper.
Yeah.
And Lind is in left, and he's got that one, and there are 2 down. Our Nissan in-game box score.
Well, I'll tell you what, Earl Weaver is probably just about getting to bed. If he was already slumbering when that 3-run home run went into the stands, he rolled over and goes, hallelujah. 3-run home runs, Markakis with a solo home run. And you can see Brian Roberts on base all 5 times last night, on a couple of times tonight. Corey Patterson, he was very happy, hit a triple, turned it into a double, and then Mora bailed him out. Excuse me, Tejada.
It'll be forgotten now. He crossed the plate. It won't be forgotten by him or by Sam Palazzo, but he'll be forgotten in the stories. 1-strike count, Kevin Millar. He has been a strikeout victim twice in this ball game. Markham has been working inside outside on him, and that's the slider pitch that he's tried to get him to chase out there. 26 strikeouts, but 17 walks go along with 4 homers, 15 RBIs for Millar. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Some outstanding pitching matchups going to be coming your way in the Oakland series with Eric Bedard and Dan Herron kicking it off in the game tomorrow night.
Well, Bedard struck out 12 on Sunday, and Herron beat the Giants. Watched a little bit of that game. He was outstanding.
At to right field, and that's going to fall. No. Stairs right there has got it. 1, 2, 3 inning. And we have completed 7 here at Camden Yards. It is 4-3, folks.
Let's take a look at our Geico game summary. Long ball, 7 double plays in the first 4 innings, punctuated by home runs by Markakis, number 6, Stairs number 5, and then the big 3-run home run by Miguel Tejada, first home run in 100 at bats. And then the big hurt will come back, first pitch of the 7th inning. He will hit his 493rd home run, a loud blast in the left center field fence. So again, well pitched. Geico summary as Jeremy Guthrie is going to sit out this 8th inning as John Parrish comes on. And again, a well pitched game. I don't know if Markham's going to continue, but Guthrie didn't have his best stuff, didn't have his best command, but somehow found a way to get into the 8th inning. And John Parrish came in on Tuesday night. He was very, very good. Great command of his fastball. Also won a game for the Orioles over the weekend in Washington. But the one thing, again, you know, this is what you have to look at. 1-run lead. Throw some strikes. You got great stuff. Let's see if he can do it.
He worked an inning, gave up just a walk in his relief appearance in game 1 of this series, and Alex Rios is going to be the pinch hitter. Rios not starting in the ball game, will pinch hit for Lind here in the 8th inning. Rios, 281, 9 home runs and 24 RBIs.
Yeah, those 9 home runs lead the Blue Jays.
Slow roller down to third. Melvin Moore has got a hustle and will not get him. It is an infield hit for Rios, representing the potential tying run. Our Tesco Technologies report, Amber.
Well, Gary, Jeremy Guthrie sits on the bench right now in a very familiar position as he leaves with the team in the lead and awaits a win. But Jeremy said earlier, wins aren't exactly his highest priority.
So young in my career that I'm just hoping to pitch well. You don't think about much else other than that. It's just pitching well and going long into games and giving the team a chance to win. And the other stuff, at this point, you don't really think about it a whole lot.
Well, he gave the team a chance to win tonight, gave up just 3 runs and 7 hits. Hopefully John Parrish can help hold the lead. Let's go back to the booth.
All right, runner on at first base here as Guthrie will stay on the bench and watch.
Yeah, he makes a great pitch talking about Parrish to Alex Rios. Rios with 3 hits on Tuesday, 1 hit last night, but he rolls over the changeup and gets the infield hit.
Now Lyle Overbay, there are the numbers on the 96 pitches for Guthrie. 3 runs, 7 hits over 7. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And that one's going to be in the corner, way back, hit hard off the wall. Markakis with a runner going to third. Throw will come to second, not in time. And Overbay just drilled that one. A .378 hitter this year off left-handers. Overbay gets a double.
And Parrish gets righties out better than lefties, so it was a very good matchup. Numbers don't always, is not lefty-lefty, it's how do you get him out. Fastball down and in, drops the head of the bat. Nick Markakis is going to get to it very quickly, and then watch Miguel Tejada come out just in case, because he knows the throw's a little offline, to make sure the run doesn't score. Rios with great speed at first.
That will be it for Parrish, as he's going to work no part of an inning, give up 2 hits, and will leave the ball game responsible for the potential tying and the potential go-ahead run on base. 4-3 O's.
There's no better way for an O to go than in the hottest crossover in town, the all-new Ford Edge. Loaded with top innovations like an enormous panoramic vista roof, standard MP3 player connection, and performance-inspired all-wheel drive, Ford Edge is every Orioles fan's top recruit. Now you can win your own Ford Edge by just entering to win the Orioles Ford Edge giveaway only at your local Ford dealer by June 26th.
And here's your chance to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Choices: Tejada, Markakis, and Guthrie. You can text in your vote now. Have your voice heard. Text A, B, or C. Tejada, Markakis, Guthrie. You can do it at Oriole 674 653. 674 653. We'll tabulate the votes. Give them to you a little bit later on.
Scott Williamson, inning in Cooperstown in the exhibition game against the Jays and the Orioles on Monday. The Orioles won that one 13-7. He came in pitched on Tuesday. Go off to the save list. Second appearance, at least official appearance. Fastball, slider, changeup, splitter. And of course, the real key run, obviously you don't want to give up the potential tying run, which is at third base, but the winning run, the go-ahead run, is out at second base as Vernon Wells steps in.
Dangerous hitter, the number 3 hole. He has hit into a double play, but hit by a pitch and grounded out. Vernon Wells, and Williamson's pitch is outside for a ball. Infield will play just to get the out here. They'll stay back. Not going to give a chance for a bigger inning by bringing that infield in. Williamson pitched an inning and a third Tuesday. Wells to third. Oh, what an out that is.
Yeah, well, a hanging slider, and I'll tell you, John Parrish gets unlucky. Rios hits a good pitch, infield roller, then he gets a fastball in bad territory, double off the wall. They bring in Williamson. Watch this slider. Watch the bat speed of Vernon Wells. Gave him a 7-year deal for over $125 million in Melbourne. In the web. Boom. Hot corner. 1 out.
On the money.
Well, do you walk him right here, walk Klaus and pitch to the left-hander on deck stairs, and they'll probably pinch hit for him? I mean, it is an option.
Troy Glass hitting at .289 and has been the big problem for the Orioles this season. Runners at second and third and 1 down.
Well, there's been 7 double plays in this game. They all happened in the first 4 innings. So here's a guy already with a home run, 6 RBIs against him. In fact, the 4 consecutive wins, he had RBIs in all of them.
He is 0 for 1 lifetime against Williamson. Rios at third base. Overbay is on at second. 1-run ball game. And the Orioles with that 1-run lead in danger here. And Gloss chasing that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hey, you got a guy with a pretty good breaking ball against a guy with a very good fastball bat. And it's not that Troy can't hit a hanging breaking ball, but I think right here you just make your pitches. If you don't get him out, you have a lefty in the bullpen. I don't know if Stairs will hit against him, but there's not a whole lot of other guys on the bench that match up real well against Jamie Walker if you bring him in. So there are some options here.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Right now Williamson is going after it. John Williamson just getting himself back into game regular season conditioning here, having been out on the DL for so long. That one is taken in the air to left. Gibbons, runner tagging at third. Rios. Throw will come into third base, and it is a tie game. RBI by Gloss on the sac fly brings Rios home. Staying at second base is Overbay, and it is 4-4. So Gloss puts another RBI up.
Yeah, he looked for a pitch he could get in the air. The slider that he swung and missed was a good one. That one was up a little bit. So Sammy Palazzo is going to come out and at least force John Gibbons' hand. Go ahead run out at second. If you bring in Walker, it's a great matchup. I don't know if Stairs will hit or not, but you have a couple of options if you're John Gibbons. I mean, you got Ryan Roberts on the bench.
A's to town. It'll be Eric Bedard, Dan Herron, the scheduled starters. Our coverage 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Chrysler Jeep Dodge, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need on Masson. So Sam Palazzo makes the switch and brings the left-hander Jamie Walker on. There'll be no response because Stairs is 4 for 11 with a home run off Walker. So Stairs will get his chance. Left-hander against left-hander, runner at second base. Breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Yeah,
Williamson,
the number, yeah.
2/3.
Yeah, the numbers this year, only 2. You hadn't had a lot of at bats, only 12. A couple of hits at RBI. There are the numbers against Jamie Walker. Kind of like the numbers, maybe not quite as good as the numbers that David Ortiz had. And he had what I think 11 pitch at bat and then dumped a little single on the left to put the Red Sox ahead a couple of weeks ago.
Those numbers don't match up to what Stairs, as you said, hitting 167 off lefties this year, has done overall.
Yeah, Jamie Walker has been very, very good. Grand slam against Travis Hafner. The Orioles don't turn a double play. Hafner hits the grand slam. He's retired 14 out of 15 since then.
Runner on at second base, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, Matt Stairs trying to hit his second home run of the night on that swing.
There you see the lefties righties, 200, same average, 1 home run. Here's the 1-1 delivered to Matt Stairs. Took a little off that one.
Well, again, remember what we were talking about Paul O'Neill and why he hit lefty so well. He said you want to try to hit the one that starts at you. Well, they're not starting at him. Starting the middle of the plate and veering to the outside corner.
Walker's retired 17 of 23 first batters faced out of the pen. 1-2 delivery on the way. Stairs will take it up high. Saw Jeremy Guthrie as we were going to commercial. Another ND. He is non-decisioned in this ball game as he left with the lead, but that has gone by the boards here in the 8th inning. So he will take the 2-1 record out as he had coming in. Stairs to second base. Roberts has got it and makes the play. And it could have been a lot worse but for the work of Williamson and Walker with only a lone run in. It's 4-4. There have been none, and there have been no attempts made in the ball game. And we invite you to enter the LoJack Caught Stealing Sweepstakes. Your chance to win an 08 spring training trip and other great prizes. Go to Orioles.com/LoJack. It's all you have to do to enter to win. LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. 4-4 ball game as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Matt Stairs stays in the ball game, moving to left field from right. Alex Rios, who came on to pinch hit, stays in the ball game. He'll be in right field. And part of the new triumvirate out of the bullpen, Casey Janssen.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. Hasn't given a run up in 13 consecutive appearances. Their closer, it's been 20 consecutive innings. So Janssen very good last year. Out of the bullpen, started a little bit, been around. Markham pitches very well. Guthrie pitches very well. They both get no decisions.
Janssen pitched in the first game of this series, worked an inning, had 1 strikeout. He will be facing 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Patterson had a double, scored in the 6th inning. Miguel Tejada, 3 RBI homer. Markakis, a home run solo shot in the 1st inning of the ball game. And now tied up again. So Parrish charged with the run on 2 hits and no part of an inning. Then Williamson 2/3 zeros across, and Jamie Walker still in there for the moment. Patterson came into the ball game just 1 hit and 21 at bats. Then got that double in his 2nd time up. He's got Gloss moving in at 3rd. That pitch is there for a strike from Janssen. Jeremy Accardo, Casey Janssen, Scott Downs combining for the great performances. The Orioles did get to Downs, 2 earned runs in the ball game last night. The short hustle, McDonald gets it. 1 away. The only thing better than catching the Orioles game is catching a game with a group of friends. Call the O's and learn more about the team's wide-ranging group options, including pregame picnics, parties, suites, and more. There are incentive plans for group organizers, so gather up the company, church group, little league teams, family, friends, and more, and enjoy a day at the yard. Orioles at 888-848-BIRD, to visit Orioles.com.
And that's a big point that you bring up, Gary, because of all the injuries. Brandon League, they expected he might be a setup guy to get to B.J. Ryan. Ryan out, League out. You know, if you mentioned Reed Johnson, their leadoff hitter out. Greg Zahn out, broken thumb, getting back close to being rehab. Victor Zambrano, who they got from the Mets, forearm problems. He's on the disabled list.
Roy Halladay pitching, should be back on May 31. They hope will be the return date for him. So they've had to really rely on people they knew very little about at the major league level, and these 3 guys have put on quite a show for them.
And again, they all, even Markham, who pitched very well, he got experience last year. Janssen pitched 17 starts last year.
He's got a 2-strike count here. Roberts has single, walked, and flied out. 4-9-0 for the Jays, 4-6-0 for the Orioles. Orioles still have left 1 base runner. That was back in the 2nd inning. So in that sense, it's been an efficient night. If they've gotten on, all but 1 case, they've gotten home. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Roberts jammed. Markham didn't hurt himself. He walked only a couple, struck out 2, came as he had been defined.
Yeah, only the home run by Miguel Tejada. 3-run shot, just stayed inside the foul pole down the left field line. You can see Brian smiling. Boy, they're trying to, they know he hits the ball out over the plate. They're just trying to get in on the fist and hopefully get him out, because if he gets on again, the capability of turning a single into a double.
5 for 9 in the series. Will take the pitch away. 2 ball, 2-strike count. Hitting at .309 right now, and as we said, he had moved into the top 10 in both walks and hits as a result of his successes of late.
And on base percentage creeped into the top 10.
And that's a big number. And that's one of the few times he will be called out on strikes.
Well, again, it's been a pretty consistent but big strike zone. Mike Winters giving you the pitch off the corner. Can you take advantage of it? There's a cutter down and in, foul ball, strike 1. 1-1. Another cutter, 1-2. You can get an idea. In, 2-2. And then right here, that ball off the corner, but well presented by Jason Phillips, the catcher.
Now Melvin Moore, 2 double plays he's hit into, and he has grounded out. 1 hit and 11 at bat so far in this 3-game set. Has dropped his average down to .243. 0-1 pitch to him. That's going to be a base hit. So Mora, in the bottom of the 8th inning of a tie game, delivers a 2-out single. and it will get Markakis to the plate. Opponents have hit just .238 off Casey Janssen. He has not given up a home run this year and has walked only 3. Markakis, he has hit a home run, had a walk, and popped out. Mora at first and 2 down, and Janssen wants to step off. They set up on the outside part of the plate, and it comes inside and misses, ball 1.
Yeah, what I remember of him last year in his debut was against the Orioles is everything kind of moves. Looks like almost everything's a little bit of a cutter. So he's got a live fastball, not particularly overpowering, and low 90s, 90, 91. And he had some success early on. Second half did not win. He was 0-3 last year, 6-7 at the All-Star game. Of course, he didn't pitch as much the second half either.
Markakis the other way, not deep. This could be a problem. Long way to go. Diving Stairs can't get it. Mora's going to make the turn. He's coming home. Here's the throw by Stairs to the plate. It's there, and Mora is out.
Well, John McDonald, a heads-up play. Going out there and helping Matt Stairs.
No runs on 2 hits with the final out of the inning coming at the plate. And not much question about this one. Board, Nick Markakis climbing up an outfield assist right now. Kadire Tian and then Nick Markakis third.
Yeah, it's a good combination. The other night, the transfer, but again, the strong throw, they would record that as an out. And then tonight, Lyle Overbay already in scoring position with 1 out, tries to get with 2 outs to third base, and Nick Markakis gets Jeremy Guthrie with a couple of runners on out of a precarious place. So again, this is a field here at Camden Yards. If you have a good arm, and Nick came out of high school as a pitcher, and you charge the ball and runners try to be aggressive, you will get some assists. Albert Bell in his first year, all of them here, 17 outfield assists. His first year as an outfielder, right fielder for the Orioles.
Chris Ray has come on to do the pitching in the 9th inning of a 4-4 ball game. The Orioles closer. Frank Thomas had the home run in the 7th inning, his 6th of the year. He has walked and flied out. 0-1 delivery to him is outside for a ball.
Well, the Orioles found out where he can hit the ball. It was a belt high fastball, first pitch, and that was 493rd, a lifetime home run.
1-1 delivery, stay away does, gets a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, Leo Mazzoni, the Oriole pitching coach, talking about if he can get Chris to stay behind the ball, throw downhill, he can make some very, very good pitches.
Ray, and he gets him. Frank Thomas is a strikeout victim. 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. And by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com. Great to have you with us here. Quite a ball game. 4-4 as we're in the top of the 9th inning. Here is Hill. He has had a double, single, and has popped out in the game. Guthrie struck out 3. Ray's strikeout of Thomas, only the 4th total in the ball game by the Oriole pitchers. And on the other side, Markham had 2 and Janssen 1. Post-game show presented by Chevy First coming up as Jim and Rick will be standing by to bring you all the action on O's Extra. And that's a foul ball in a game yet to be determined where the big hit is going to be. We've already had a lot of big moments in this ball game.
No, have we ever? Orioles have gone through their bullpen to some extent. Used John Parrish to start the 8th inning, then Scott Williamson, then Jamie Walker, and now Chris Ray. And calculated risk, you bring your closer in, arguably your best pitcher. Hope to get him out in the top of the 9th and win it in the bottom of the 9th.
Tejada Huff Hernandez will be due up. Ray with a 1-ball 2-strike count to Hill, and that ball's in the air to center field. Patterson playing deep anyway, puts it away. Our Care First K's for Kids. Whenever an Orioles pitcher strikes out an opponent, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will make a $25 donation to the YMCA of Central Maryland's Why Healthy Kids program. Congratulations, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. The K's kids get 4 tonight. Jason Phillips. 2 down. Nobody on here in the 9th inning. RBI single, hit into a double play and has grounded out. Ray looking to retire the side in order. We'll have a 1-ball 1-strike count on the Toronto catcher.
Yeah, the problems that Chris has had, he didn't have them last night because he was lights out, is really with his second and third pitch, and that's the splitter and the slider. And just a little bit underneath them, so they flatten out as the splitter did to Hill, but he hit it to center. And the fastball still awfully good, 92 to 96, but the other 2 pitches, and of course Leo Mazzoni always encouraged him to use all your pitches, even though your fastball is your best one. But 1 strike of getting to the heart of your lineup and trying to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that is the game plan when you bring in your closer.
1-2 delivery, takes it away. Series up in the air to be decided here in this rubber match game of this 3-game set. As Toronto came in and took the opener 6-4. Orioles 5-2 last night. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. 2 strikeouts. Chris Ray, 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th at Camden Yards. Tejada, Huff, and Hernandez. 4-4. Tail of the tape, 4-9-0. Toronto 4-8-0 for the Orioles, and yowza.
Yep, the 3-run home run. The Orioles trailing 2-1, made it 4-2. Frank Robinson hit home run, and then the Jays tied it up with 1 in the top of the 8th. So all you need is 1, and you don't need a home run, even though it would be pretty nice.
Bottom half of the 9th inning. Last out of the 8th inning made at the plate when Mora got thrown out by Matt Stairs. Miguel Tejada hitting .311 will take the pitch inside. Casey Janssen stays on. He worked to 4 hitters in the 8th inning. Janssen, as Jim pointed out, is a former starter, and he has worked as much as 2 1/3 innings this year out of the bullpen. Tejada takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. 25-year-old right-hander for Toronto. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Outfield back about as far as you can play and still be in the yard. A chopper off the plate. Troy Gloss. 1 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. 1 away, bottom of the 9th. Aubrey Huff, a single in 3 times to the plate. And we'll take the first pitch for a strike. Casey Jansen's just a ball of energy out there. He never stops moving. He's nervous. So gets the ball back, bounces around. 0-1 pitch, right field. Rios. 2 down.
But the one thing he does do, Gary, right before he focuses on what pitch he wants to throw, he looks down, takes a deep breath. I know that's not easy for him, but he does. And he appears to me making a lot better pitches than he did last season. Of course, again, another guy along very much like Sean Markham that has some experience. And, you know, you come up to the big leagues, you think you got to be perfect. Every pitch has to be on the corner. You don't ever get away with mistakes. Well, yeah, and you don't always. But if you can make good pitches, and early on last year he was able to do that. And then all of a sudden, again, that little cutter, a little movement. Hitters reacted, but it's, as we talked about last night, a lot easier to get a guy out maybe once or twice than 3 or 4 times as a starter. And this may be a very, very good role for him.
You saw the problems Hernandez has had against Casey Jansen. And that is taken down low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, bottom of the 9th inning. Hernandez, fly ball out, ground ball out, the fielder's choice in this ball game. A 1 for 10 in this series. 1-1. 247 on the season right now, and Ramon takes that one the other way, and it'll be strike 2, 1-2. Jansen too, like Markham, who we saw starting, strike after strike after strike.
Well, I was really impressed with Sean Markham. He really gave, when we try to do it in our scouting report, is just saying he's a pitcher, and he pitched tonight. He didn't throw, he pitched. He used all his pitches, was around the strike zone.
Gave up 4 runs on 6 hits over 7.
And I know he'd like to have the pitch back to how to hit, but other than that, pretty good night.
And that's right down the line at 333. 1-2 delivery outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles trying to win it here in the last at bat. And take this series. Gibbons waiting on deck, hoping to get a shot or hoping to celebrate at home plate. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, Ramon a walk off last year off of the Scott Shields of the Anaheim Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels at Anaheim, or whatever they are.
Close enough.
Yes.
That will be taken by Stairs on this date in 1935 at Crosley Field. The first night game was played.
Was it extra innings?
We're going to go extra innings. Traveling, you won't miss any of the action. And with MLB.tv, you can catch games you missed on demand and listen to every radio broadcast in the league live. So sign up today. For details, visit Orioles.com, where baseball is always on. Extra inning ball games for Baltimore this season. 4-1. Toronto 2-2. Danny Baez.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, and tough weekend in Washington. Loss on Sunday. 2-run home run to Ryan Zimmerman. Got behind him and he clobbered one to left field. So the numbers: good April, bad May. Let's see if he's having a good late May. He's really worked on just trying to relax, try to get over the front side. He's a big guy, and then ball's down, and of course the first pitch at 93 is not where he wants it to be. But when he sinks the ball, he can be awfully good. And when he gets it up belt high, a lot more hittable.
Number 9 hitter McDonald will take it for a strike. 1-1. John McDonald hitting at .273 with a single in 3 at bats in this game. Baez has not worked since the 20th, when he gave up the 2 runs, 3 hits in the 3rd of an inning to the Nationals. And he'll miss down low 2-1, and right away you see the approach of Toronto. They're going to take some pitches and make him throw.
And you can see real struggle as the Orioles have on the road. That is the pitch that's going to get a lot of hitters out right there. And the way you throw that pitch is you aim it for the middle of the plate, you let it sink. It's probably not going to get in the middle. Throw the ball downhill, and you're going to have some success.
2 ball, 2 strike count of McDonald, and he'll take that outside, and it's 3-2. Baez goes full in the first batter faced here. Ray worked an inning, couple of strikeouts, set down all 3 that he faced. Walker, a 3rd of an inning, and gets the strikeout.
Did he ever? What a sigh of relief. You've been out there, and what happens is when you're struggling, you get afraid of contact. You think you have to, again, as we talked about, you got to make the perfect pitch. You just have to trust your stuff, and that's exactly what he does here. 3-2. Try to hit it, and John McDonald unable to do it. So does he get over his front side, throw it downhill? He is over there. Just trying to keep the chin and his left shoulder a little bit more together and throw downhill.
Alex Rios might want to back him off, as he has gone 4 for 8 in his career against Danny Baez.
A little chin music. This ball just rides up and in.
Rios has played a role, although he came in late, 8th inning, delivered a base hit and scored. And takes that one deep to left field off Baez. Gibbons is back, looking up, and goodbye home run. And Toronto has a 5-4 lead on a Rios homer.
Well, he's going to be a big-time home run hitter. Mickey Brantley came over as the hitting instructor. He said no more hit off the front foot. Changed his stance, got him into a crouch. Former #1 draft choice. 5 home runs against the Orioles last year, and you can see number 10, and that leads the Jays. Not to mention he can play right field with the best of them.
10 home runs, 25 RBIs.
Yeah, again, that's not the pitch where you want to be to a big, strong guy.
Ball thrown back out on the field will delay the game here. Danny Baez has now surrendered 5 home runs in 21 innings. So opponents may be hitting .218 against him, but the runs are piling up based on the homers.
And they're all pretty much carbon copies of what the other home runs have been. You know, if you go back to the home run that Giambi hit, he came in with a 7-3 lead. Giambi hit a 3-run home run in New York back in early April. High fastball. The fastball to Zimmerman, high fastball. Rios home run, high fastball. And they're usually in hitters' counts. The second best pitch is his splitter. Slider has been very marginal all year long.
He's got a 1-ball-1-strike count here, and Overbay puts that one to the gap in right center field. That is way back in the corner. That'll hit off the base of the wall. Overbay on his way to second base. A stand-up double. He's got 3 doubles, and the fans are on Baez. This will not be a pretty meeting at the mound.
I'll take another. It's about location. Again, in the middle of the plate. These guys that we've seen it all series long. Toronto can hit, and they don't miss a whole lot of fastballs in the center of the plate. Daniel Cabrera found that out on Tuesday night, and of course, I think anybody that's seen Daniel knows couldn't get his breaking ball over, doesn't throw his changeup, and right now, middleitis. It's a bad disease against good fastball hitting team.
See the difference in Baez. I mean, you can see it because, as Jim points out, where the pitches are. But you look at last year, with LA and Atlanta combined, he gave up a grand total of 3 home runs in 57 games that he appeared in. And this year, already 5 in 21 innings. Vernon Wells fouls that one back. 5-4 lead for the Jays here in the 10th.
Well, I grabbed his arm. Yeah, Gary, I grabbed his arm the other day, and I just started shaking. I said, and it's hard to do. It's probably almost sometimes impossible, is to relax when you're struggling. Hitters grip the bat a little bit tighter. Your grip pressure on the ball, you can see right there, you don't get on top of your slider. It's just a horrible struggle. And the unfortunate thing, and we kind of talked about it last night, is when do you use Danny Baez? You didn't want to use him in a tie game. And you have to, because they've gone through their pitching staff tonight.
They really don't want to use Bradford. He's one of those listed as unavailable.
Right, 8 pitched the last 2 nights. So in a perfect world, you pitch him when you're way ahead or way behind. Let him gain his confidence, and that wasn't the situation tonight.
Rios with a home run, his 10th to give him the lead. Then the double by Lyle Overbay. He came in with an 0 for going, 0 for 8. He's got 3 doubles tonight. Foul back again. Vernon Wells trying to climb the ladder and jump on it.
And he's a very good high ball hitter. But it's just so different when the umpire says play ball. You can work on all the mechanics and whatever. You just have to get out there. You have to get hitters out. You have to make good pitches, and then all of a sudden. But I always wondered, does success bring confidence, or does confidence bring success? It's the age-old question. You know, it just differs for different people.
Vernon Wells pops that one back. Hernandez, and that'll go off the top of the screen. Literally the very top wire.
And if you're going well, when you make a good pitch like that, it stays in play.
Vernon Wells trying to add to the totals here. 11 hits now on the board for the Jays, out hitting the O's 11-8. And a chance for an extra inning win as they've got the lead.
And you want to keep that deficit at 1. Give yourself give your guys a chance to win. And they're going to go to Accardo. He hadn't given up a run in 20 consecutive innings.
Jays still have their closer. Orioles brought in their closer, Chris Ray, in the 9th inning, who set the side down in order. Breaking ball and a good one. Baez gets the strikeout, his second, 2 down.
Talked about good breaking balls and bad ones. Well, this is a good one. It fools Vernon Wells. So McDonald strikes out, and Wells for strikeout number 2.
Troy Glass 1 for 2 off Baez. That was a home run. 2 down, runner at second base. Slider on the outside corner for a strike. Glass has driven in a run with a sac fly. Officially, he is 0 for 3 and 1 for 9 in this 3-game set. This is going to be getaway night, of course, for the Minnesota Twins. They've got a series coming up at for the Jays. They've got a series at Minnesota that they are going to be attending to over the weekend, while the Orioles will be playing the A's, starting with the ball game tomorrow night. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Loss with a runner at second base and 2 outs. Breaking ball that hangs up and inside. 2-1.
Well, when they interviewed Jeremy Guthrie, who started this game, what did he say about Troy Glaus? We know that he can hit the fastball out over the plate, and Danny Baez is trying to stay out of that zone. And that's why he's throwing him breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball. Alex Rios going to be a star.
He's a good one now. Plays with great confidence. 2 ball, 2 strike count. It's the power team designed for extra base hits. 7 of their 11 hits have been extra base hits tonight. Loss will stay away from that one, and it's a full count, 3-2. Guthrie and Markham, the 2 starters, battle one another through 7. Both non-decisioned in the ballgame. "3-2" will be fouled off. Now, Brian Burris is scheduled to pitch on Saturday, a start. He went down to the bullpen between innings and is there just in case. So Sam Palazzo having to get somebody else down there if this ball game goes deeper. Runner off second is Overbay. 3 ball, 2 strike count on Troy Glaus, and he is a strikeout victim. So Baez ends up striking out the side, but in between, Rios with a home run, Overbay with a double. Toronto gets a 5-4 lead, and their closer's on his way in. Game as decided by you, our viewers, based on the votes. Nick Markakis, 55%. And we thank all of you. Text in your vote. You can do it every game and vote for the AT&T player of the game. Toronto might want to argue about that, but
yeah, well, their player of the game right now. They got a bunch of them, but Alex Rios up on the list is their closer. Jeremy Accardo will come in, and if you want to, there is Rios, who hits the home run off Danny Baez. He came in, actually started it when they came back to tie it in the 8th inning with an infield hit. So Accardo, pretty good numbers. 20 innings, has yet to give up a run, only 10 hits, 6 walks, 21 strikeouts. And the Blue Jays, B.J. Ryan, they set $47 million over 5 years. Tommy John surgery, won't be back till next year. They have given this kid a chance. He's only 25. Markham was 25. Jansen was 25. And he throws in the mid-90s with a hard breaking ball.
Jeremy Accardo looking for the save. Jansen, the pitcher of record, could be the winner. Orioles looking for a run at least in a 5-4 bottom half of the 10th inning. Gibbons has gone 0 for 3 in the ball game. Millar and Patterson are due up. '25-year-old right-hander with the 0-1 delivery is going to come inside. Running out of bodies here in this game for both teams, especially for the O's out there in the bullpen, as Brian Burris had to go out there. Bynum, Baco, Payton and Gomez right-handed. No switch hitters left. 1-1 strike delivery. Broken bat ground ball to first base. Lyle Overbay. One away.
Yeah, we always talk about how left-handed hitters love to hit the low fastball, but not at 95 in on your fist in a great location. And Jay Gibbons not quite able to get it.
No one would be happier to see Jeremy Accardo turn out to be a real star than the skipper of Toronto, because he was traded to the Jays in exchange for Shea Hildebrand and a minor league pitcher. Shea Hildebrand had gotten into a row with John Gibbons, the manager of Toronto, and it was decided newer grounds were needed for Mr. Shea Hildebrand.
Yeah, and it's hard to imagine, because you know John Gibbons seems like such a pleasant guy that you could do that.
Well, there was a little note left on the chalkboard.
Well, I understand how it happened.
Yeah.
I just, in fact, John was Jerry Howarth, who does the radio, was saying that John's son, he said, is only 7. I think Kyle, and he said the first time that he really realizes his dad's been away, and he said he called at 7 years old. He called his dad. He goes, "John, this is JP. You're fired. Come home." At 7 years old.
I love it.
And he was only gone 2 weeks in spring training.
Oh, that's great. Millar's got a base hit the other way.
It's going to be a habit.
He is double his quota in base hits to right field for the month of May. And the Orioles get the potential tying on, potential winning to the plate. Bynum will run for Millar.
Yeah, last night a double, the only extra base hit for the Orioles, where they got 11 hits. And I told Kevin today, I said, you almost had a home run. He goes, "Jim, it was 15 feet from the wall." I said, well, Memorial Stadium was only 309. But that was it's kind of like, again, the accidental tourist, the accidental base hit to right field. You got a speedster at first, your tying run. This is what you want. Good fastball hitter at the plate, especially if it's down in the zone for Corey Patterson.
Patterson has doubled and grounded out twice. Gloss is moving in at third. Troy Gloss is literally walking the chalk line at third base. He is way over to prevent a double going by him, and as he's done every time Patterson comes up, he walks or runs in towards the plate.
Well, they want to take the bunt away from him. I think right here he's thinking extra base hits, drive it somewhere. And you're probably sitting at home, you're going, well, good fastball hitter, he only has 1 home run. But that 1 home run came off of Joel Zumaya, 100-mile-per-hour fastball to deep right center field. So it's not like if you throw him a low fastball that he's not big enough, strong enough, quick enough, bad enough to hit one out of here.
2 ball, no strike count. Bynum goes back to the bag on the throw over. Patterson has gone 0 for 4 against Accardo. So have a lot of other people.
Well, these are the counts right here at 2-0 where you can look for your pitch, and it's got to be down, because that's going to speed up your bat, and that's the kind of pitch he hit off of Zumaya. Don't swing at something up in the strike zone.
2-0 delivery is hit in the air to right field. Rios, runner halfway. And there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Bynum back to first.
That is the kind of swing you want Corey Patterson to take. Just missed hitting the ball out of here. Aggressive swing, good pitch to hit. Unfortunately, the good fastball is a tough pitch to center sometimes.
Brian Roberts coming up, runner at first base, 2 down now. Batting average against Accardo coming into this game for opposing hitters, 145. He has not given up a home run, 21 strikeouts and 6 walks. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, 4 for 4, trying to make it 5 for 5 in saves. And I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, Gary, and I said, well, he's on a pretty good roll. He goes, so far. And that's really the way you have to play it. Getting an opportunity, taking advantage of the opportunity.
25 years old, left-handers. Might as well just go out and have a post-game beverage.
Well, yeah, I remember, of course, you were doing the Met games when that '88 World Series and playoff system where David Cohn had the great first half, and he did the kind of called Jay Howell's curveball or Little League curveball, but he said you got to have. He said all the right things. Except that. You have to have a good first half, have to have a good second half.
Bynum's going. Here's the throw.
Yeah, big jump.
He stays on the bag.
Yeah, he beat it easily. but almost came off the bag. Nice throw by Jason Phillips, but he stole it on Accardo, so I guess that's about the only bad thing he does, holding runners. Good throw, right on the money, but easily in, but then almost goes right into short left field. There's your tag by John McDonald, so right there, hang on, and he does.
2 for 2 stolen bases. 11th inning, 2 down, 10th inning rather, and 2 down. Potential tying run now on at second base. Roberts has got a 1-ball-1-strike count on him. And Brian Roberts is going to try and continue to perform some of the magic that's been coming out of that bat and with his glove for an extended period here for the O's. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. He'll foul that one back, and Accardo gets it to 1-2. Roberts 243 with runners in scoring position, and he wanted that last pitch, and he wants it again.
Yeah, Jeremy Accardo not quite as lighting up the radar gun as he was the other night. That pitch at 90, and maybe that's why Brian figured he might have been able to get the bat head to the ball.
1-ball-2-strike count, 2 down. And Roberts is gone, and Toronto will take the series. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. The base runner left on at second. Jansen wins it. Accardo the save. And a tough loss. Baez will take it. And the long ball hit by Rios, the difference. Right back at you. The A's are going to be in town. Bedard and Heron tomorrow. Our coverage 6:30 O's Extra. Chrysler Jeep Dodge presents it. For Jim Palmer and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks everybody for being with us.